Good morning, welcome to Sew & Quarter. I'm Natasha McCarty, and this hour I am joined by the fabulous Lucy Brennan. Should we have a look what's coming up? Let's take a little look. So, midweek makes is where we're at. Sewing feet equals happy feet. Yay! And not a penguin in sight. 9 a.m. Oh, we could get a penguin. We've got Joe Carter's penguins. But that's not what this is all about. 9 a.m. is your Dashwood Studio showcase. Yes, 10 o'clock then, we're looking at Interlocking Square Block, which you'll see behind Lucy in just a minute. And then at 11 o'clock, yeah, it's behind you, Lucy. It's behind you. Then at 11 o'clock, Tasha's Sashiko hour. Yep, oh yes. Well, it was just the Sashiko hour, but it's with me. So it's now Tasha's Sashiko. See what the... Oh, Sashiko. Yes. Missed a trick there, didn't we? Hey, never mind. Anyway, we'd love to hear from you as ever. I do like it when you get in touch and you send us all your photos and all the clever things you've been up to. So this is how you do so. Head to the website, which is sewingquarter.com. Here we go. Head to watch. You can watch us there. You can watch us on your TV. You can watch us on your phone. You can watch us wherever you like, really. You can watch us on YouTube directly from the start. Message the studio. That comes straight through to us. Producer Paul gets first dibs at that. And then underneath will be all of the items that we've got on the shows today. So that's all yesterday's. That's about to go any minute. And all of our new goodies, ooh, will go up there. So don't worry if you can't remember the code. None of us can. They're all randomly generated. They will all go onto that page there. Under where you watch live, everything goes on there. So it's like a quick, easy shopping list. And then if you want to send us pictures, please send us pictures. Then studio@sewingquarter.com. We like to see your makes. We like it very, very much. If only we could. Well, I keep trying to get them to, you know, that Tony Hart music from where they used to have the gallery. That's what I'd really like. But I don't know if we can have it. Hey, Lucy Brennan.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Very lovely to see you back
Very
again.
lovely to see you too.
Yay! Now, happy feet.
Happy feet. Lots of happy feet today.
Should we have a look through every single foot that we've got for you? Now, the ultimate ruffler. No idea what this was. No idea. So glad you're here. But it's ruffled a few feathers here, let me tell you. $49.95 for your Elna Ruffler accessory. Woo! Next one up is your Clearview Quilting Foot and Guide set. Oh, I like this one. Because you've got a ditch quilting guide and a 1/4 inch guide. Because it turns out that stitching in the ditch is quite difficult. $19.95.
Also hard to say.
Apparently, teeth back in any moment. Yeah. Then you've got your ditch quilting foot. Just in case I couldn't say it first time around, they give me another chance. Isn't that kind?
Yeah.
Really generous. You're stitching in the ditch quilting foot. If you just need that. If you've already got one that gives you that line, then get this one instead. $18.95. There we go. Now, this is your convertible free motion quilting foot set. Yeah. You've got 3 different things in this. Oh, no, actually 4, because you've got the quilting plate, your clear view plate, foot, rather, and an open toe foot, and a closed toe foot. Is that for health and safety reasons?
Slightly.
Yeah. Like we shouldn't have open toes in the studio. Yes. Health and safety.
Yeah.
Lucy's going to go through these, don't worry. So if you haven't got a clue, neither have I. Lucy's going to talk us through it. Now, this is a beading foot. Very exciting. So where I grew up, November the 5th was a big deal. And you know, people spent all year making the most elaborate costumes for November the 5th. They'd need a beading foot or two. And sequins. I wonder if you can do sequins with that. Don't know. Have a look. Now, this is your Evenfeed foot with quilting guide. Yeah, there you go. Lucy's going to go through all these, don't worry. Now this is a good one. Look at this. This is your circular sewing attachment. Love a circle.
Oh, I love a circle.
What is it about a circle? Love an attachment for a circle. Oh. Wow. There. It's there. $49.95 for the perfect circle. Awesome. Hang on. Let me come along here. Oh, now this is your border foot guide. Everyone loves a border foot guide. We like this. Look at that. Can you see? It's got like guides and everything on it for your borders. $26.95. It's all right, Lucy, take us through all these. And this is your ribbon or... Oh, no, this is the sequin one.
Sequin one.
Oh, there you go. Your ribbon or sequin foot. All of my dreams answered. Every sequin on. Because let's face it, I ain't hand stitching sequins.
No.
No. And then you've got your bobbins, because we all need bobbins. We've got those as well. Bobbing along, singing a song. Oh, we were this morning, we had a little studio sing-song.
We had a bop.
We like to call it Brennan's Beats in the mornings. $7.95 for that. There we go. Let's crack on. Lucy.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
We threw a lot of feet at you.
Yes, you did.
I hate
a whole
feet.
bunch of feet.
I like people
actual feet.
Don't like those. These I can cope with.
I'm not that keen. Yeah.
No.
No.
This if
These are my
ever-
kind of feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if ever there was a foot to be dealt with, it's this.
Yes.
Now, Ruffles.
Yeah.
Hello, Ruffles. Every day we're ruffling. Look at that. Flowers, decorative items.
Yes. Great for dressmaking, doing cuffs and...
Sleeve.
Yes.
Hey, fancy dress items. Queen Elizabeth.
Or a clown. You know, those frilly collar. You're not a clown.
I can't believe you'd look at me and think clown.
It's
It's that kind of a day, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry.
Wider ruff.
Yeah, wider ones. And
Don't go
there's
ruffling those
actually,
feathers.
there's ones in between these, but I've just sort of done these to demonstrate what it can do.
Hang on,
And
this is like a pleat.
pleats. Yeah, which is great.
So you could start to make your own bed valance.
Valances.
Is it a valance?
Yeah.
Is
Work
that
for
right?
valances. Yeah, absolutely.
And ruffle all the way along there.
Yeah.
All those sorts of
And
things.
talking about costumes, tutus, things like that. You can layer your fabric up, so you can do different layers at once. You don't just have to do one.
Ornaments, like flowers and things like that.
Yeah, so that's it folded in half, so you don't have a raw edge. So you can fold that round, wrap it round to create a flower. So brooches and things like that you can do.
Fabulous. Fascinators.
Yes.
Things like that.
Yeah,
I'm
things like that.
thinking along the bottom of a skirt as well, if you want that little detail.
Yeah.
Or actually, you
absolutely.
could layer up.
Mhm. Yeah.
Is that where you've got
Tiers,
two tiers?
like tiers on a
Tiers.
skirt.
Yes.
You could do that.
Well, let's hope this goes well, or there'll be other
Yeah.
tiers.
I
Right.
know. There could well be.
Can I just say, this
Hopefully
is a
not.
mean-looking foot.
Yeah.
It's a
We
mighty
should have a look
one.
at it first.
Look
It
at
is a
that.
mighty one. There's
When that came out the packet, I have to say, it scared me.
It scared me a little bit, if I'm honest. But it does come with instructions, so they're nice and clear.
Good.
And, it's a big piece of kit.
It is, isn't it?
It's very well made. You can't really go wrong with it, she says.
We'll see. Live TV, anything could happen.
There are two places where you need to fix it on. So it's similar, if anybody has a walking foot, it's similar to the walking foot, and we'll see that a bit later on. So it clips on to the shank like you usually would with a foot. So you're keeping that bit on. If I can raise it up. So it clips on there, and then you've also got this section here that grips just underneath that, like a little hook that goes underneath that. So you need to make sure that this is in position, and also that it's attached properly there on the shank. And then when you do start, don't make the mistake I did. Make sure that your foot is down.
Okay, right.
Yeah, because if you do it with it up, it will just bird's nest all over the back.
Oh, don't do that.
Don't do
now, I have to tell you that I know you're going to ask, is this suitable for my machine? So we preempted that, and we've given the call centre a great long list. So if you ring them and tell them what machine you've got, they're sorted. They've got a list to tell you. So it's suitable for top loaders, like top bobbin loaders, the 340, 540, the Lotus, all those sorts of machines, you're good to go.
Yeah, so those are the Elna, and then there's a long, long list of Janome machines that it will fit as well.
These feet are made by Janome, and it is just worth saying, they say, like on this one, says fits any machine. Just check with your sewing machine guarantee, because some of them it will be null and void your warranty on your machine if you use other feet, even though a lot of us do. But that's your risk to take. There you go. That's all the officially stuff to say.
Yeah.
Let's have a go.
Okay, so there are a couple of different settings on the ruffler. So you can set how close together you want your ruffles or pleats to be.
So how ruffled you want to
get?
Yeah,
so how deep they are and how close together they are.
This is clever.
So there's just a little setting on the front here, and you just lift that up and move it over, and it's got little guides there that say, so you can set it just to a straight stitch as well. So if you want to ruffle and then go straight, you would just stop and move this over. So you can just do a straight stitch should you need to as you're sewing. Oh. So it's not just that it has to be a continuous ruffle. So that's the one with the little star, and then you've got a 12, a 6 and a 1, and that's going to give you different levels. And then there's another one here that you move.
That's a twisty one.
Yeah, that's a twisty one, and the markings are just on the side here, so you're not going to be able to see that, but it's just got a lot of numbers.
Oh yes, it does.
There,
just
and
a
that's
little gauge.
like the different depths of the pleat. So we'll just set it there and see what happens.
There you go.
Shall
So that's all Lucy did, was just turn that little bit there.
Just a little twisty, very easy, just twist there. So you just use that to adjust the setting there as well. And then you've got all these squiggly parts on the ruffler, but all you're going to do, all you need to worry about is slotting it through this section here. So you just basically ignore all the bit on the front. You've got all these little twisty, you can just see it there.
Yeah, I don't really understand.
You don't need to feed it through any of that. You ignore that. It does all of that for you. So you just want to make sure that you're getting it through that section there, if we can. Oh.
Now, we've got 11 left of these. So if you're after one today, I know we're all waiting to see exactly how it does it. I'm riveted.
I know. So you want to pull it through. Just lift the foot up and make sure it's right underneath. So your needle's going into the fabric as you
you kind of forget, because there's so much going on over here, you kind of forget actually your needle's way back here.
Yeah, and then what it does is this bit moves and it like pushes the fabric to create the pleat. Just get my foot into position, sorry. My machine foot, not my
It's all about the feet
foot.
today.
I know, it's all about the feet.
Oh, that's clever. Look,
so
it's
you
ruffling.
can see it going backwards and forwards and see it creating that ruffle. So you want to go quite steady. You can go quickly,
but
you want to just try and go quite steady to keep it even. And it just goes backwards and forwards, and that's it.
So that little bit there is basically jamming
the
material
that's doing all of the work.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very clever. We've ruffled. That was it. There you go, easy.
To try and do that or create those deeper pleats, by hand would just be...
Not going to happen.
No.
That's amazing.
And it's that action where it's pulling back, so it's easier to show on this one. And it pulls back and tucks the fabric under. So as it's going, just there, then it will just fold and tuck it, and it just pushes the little bit on there, and it just pushes the fabric to create those pleats or ruffles.
But you could do entire tops of curtains like this, couldn't you?
Yes, absolutely.
So you could get the effect of a pencil pleat without having to do that whole pulling thing.
There's no marking, because you can set it all just by moving those two little, and they're very easy. It's not, it's easy just to lift up and move about. It's not difficult.
I'm impressed with that. Super impressed. If you need some ruffles in your life, $49.95. That's amazing. From ruffle to pleat. Here it is. There you go. So $49.95 gets you that. We have 11 left. So if you are all about the ruffle this morning, then you go for it. You go ruffling. That's brilliant. I didn't even know that was a thing.
No.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Sometimes you don't even know the questions to ask, do you? Well, no, but I didn't.
No.
I didn't know. I didn't know there was a ruffling foot. I thought it was just one of those tricky things. But look at that. It's a beast, isn't it? I mean, that is a beast of a foot. Can I show you? Look.
Yeah.
So that's where you clip it onto your foot there. Took that off in 20 seconds, Lucy.
Yeah.
Not that we were like timing or anything. And then you see it's this bit here that goes back and forth. Hang on. That goes back and forth and puts the pleat into there. Awesome. Right, next. What's next?
Okay, the next one, we're sort of going back into going into quilting now. We haven't done any this morning, have we? Thinking about yesterday. So this one is the clear view with your 1/4 inch and your ditch guide on it. So this one is also very, very simple to use. It just has a screw on the top. So you have the foot, the clear foot with markings on, and you have these 2 guides.
Right.
So one is the 1/4 inch and one is the ditch. So the ditch one goes on, let's get this right, Lucy, that way. And you slot that under the screw and it goes in the middle.
Okay. Where the ditch would indeed be.
Where the ditch would be. So to remove that, you're just going to unscrew, lift it up and pull it out, if she says. There we go. And then you also have the 1/4 inch guide. So again, that just slots on underneath the screw. And you have the guide that rests there at the edge of the foot.
This is amazing. Now, it does say on here, this is for 9mm maximum stitch width machines. So just be aware of your machine. Again, give the call centre a ring if you're in any way, shape or form in need of any advice, because they've got the list. They've got the list. This is awesome.
It is. It's really, really good. And it's really nice to have a clear foot with a guide on. That's really helpful. So you can really see, you know, where you're going, and it's just got that edge on it there.
All these things that you just didn't know. Now, apparently I've got a message. Hang on. Need to go into... Oh, we've got an email message, all sorts. From Reva. Good morning, Reva. She got her machine aged 7, 50 years ago. Giving your age away there. Had a few feet, including a ruffler.
Ah.
So when she gave it a go, she fell in love with it. Well, that's excellent.
I hope you've got ruffles on everything.
Yeah, well, you would, wouldn't you?
Yes.
I mean, I'm thinking that you could ruffle down cushions and all sorts.
Yeah.
Deborah says, good morning, Lucy and Natasha. Excellent show as always. I like learning new stuff. Does Lucy know what a fixed foot is for? Thanks, says Deb.
I don't, Deb.
Oh.
Sorry. A fixed foot.
A fixed foot?
I don't.
Can you send us a photo?
Yeah, that might be helpful.
That would help.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 2. So this one does lots. I like this one.
Yes.
Because it's going to do... here we go. It says here, multifunctional for all quilters. That's great. 1/4 inch guide and your ditching guide. And those red guidelines every 1/8 inch.
Yeah.
Handy.
And you've got them both ways, so you can be lining, you know, the ones on the side there, you just can be checking that it's even, you know, if you've done some stitching one way, you can be checking that you're going straight, if you like.
Perfect.
The clear foot is an advantage, as I spoke about before, and then I'm just going to do some piecing to show you that 1/4 inch foot. I use the 1/4 inch foot all the time.
Always.
Yeah, all the time for piecing. It really is a quilter's best friend.
I don't have a quilting 1/4 inch foot with the guide, and I'm a bit gutted, so I'll be getting one.
Yeah.
Because it just then makes life easier. I can wibble and wobble off all over the place.
It really, really does. It helps, you know, if you struggle to sew a straight line, which a lot of people do. Yeah, a lot of people do. It really, really does help.
So because otherwise what it means is that I wibble off and then it comes apart. It frays a bit and then I haven't got enough of depth and Get this, 1995, job done.
And what you want to be doing when you're sewing, you want to be looking at that front point there. So you want to be looking where the guide is and making sure that your fabric is butted up.
I don't look at the needle?
Guide. No.
Oh.
I want to say never, but there might be times when you need to, but I never look at the needle. I'm always looking at the edge.
We've had a question.
Yes.
Says Elna on the screen, but Janome on the items. Which is it, please? Janome and Elna are made by the same people.
They're both made by
Janome. It's all the same company now. Not everybody knows that.
No.
You know, and they don't. I don't think they shout about it enough.
No, and
quite frankly.
Sewing Quarter have Elna machines. That's what we're all using.
Yes.
We're all sewing on Elna machines.
And these are all fitting on there.
Yes, but Janome, you know, a Janome machine that you buy, and there are ones in the list of all the machines that it fits. If you have a John Lewis Janome machine, it will fit on some of those as well. So if you know, do give the call centre a ring and find out which ones.
0800 112 4433. They are there, champing at the bit, waiting for your calls.
Okay, so this is the 1/4 inch. So like I said, you're looking at the guide as you're sewing. I've put 2 pieces of fabric together. If these were patterned, it would be right sides together. Okay. I would be sewing them. And then we'll just go ahead. I can do a little back stitch. And you can just see how easily the fabric just stays in place along that. Isn't it? Yeah, just glides through. You can use pins if you want. You know, if you want to pin your pieces to keep them in place, you can. I
don't think I would.
But you need to be moving them out of the way because you don't want it to be hitting that guide.
Do you know what I would also be using that for? When I sew, because I like to do racer quilts and 2.5 inch strip quilts and things like that. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Your 1/4 inch, look at that, absolutely perfectly done. We need to move on to the next foot.
Oh, can I just very, very quickly?
Go on very, very quickly.
I'm naughty. It will sew a scant 1/4 inch as well.
Oh, okay.
So
we talk about scants sometimes.
Yeah, it's got a little marking there to do a scant seam, so that's going to be. Oh, is that
what that little red mark is?
Yeah,
there?
so that I've just gone off then.
Oh, sorry, because I stuck my finger in the way.
That's okay.
You won't have me interfering when you're sewing, for which I'm sure you'll all be very grateful. That one there, so you can't see.
That would be like a scant. I would probably started a little bit too short, but the other end is the better
finished?
version.
There we go.
Yeah.
So that's your scant there. Can you see just the difference? Oh, they're going to get it on the overhead camera. Look at that. You can just see that is slightly thinner than that because it's scant.
Yeah, also what I would say, if you're using a, you know, if you do like zip bags and things like that, if you take the guide off, you can just use that and use the marking on the foot to give you a nice top stitch.
Oh, nice. So it's an all-round good foot to have.
Yeah.
Over half stock's gone, 1995, RZJE 38. Next one.
So the next one is the stitch in the ditch foot. That's not its name, is it? Ditch quilting foot.
We call it stitch in the ditch. We know what you mean.
You know what I mean. Yeah. So the one that I've just shown, the clear one, you have that guide that you move into the, you know, it's the one that goes in the middle.
Yeah, so you have
that option. Do it with the clear one, but if you've already got a 1/4 inch foot, you don't really need that one. So you could just go with the ditch quilting foot.
Or if you're really lazy like me and you just can't be bothered, or you lose
you don't want to change it.
Then just get both.
Yeah, absolutely, that's fine. So this one is a metal foot, so it's not clear like that one. This one is a metal foot and it just has the guide there. So I'll just pop that one on. So you can see it's in a completely different place. It's in the centre.
It's a bit like, I want to say not the rudder, it's a bit like the bit on the boat at the back.
Yes, yeah. So what this one's doing is stitching along our seam line. So I've just made this little quilted patchwork panel. Thanks. I don't know what to call it, little quilt sandwich. And what I'm going to be doing is just lining that up with that seam. And quilting.
I'm at the stage where I'm not ready to do all sorts of intricate quilting patterns, and so I generally stick to stitching in the ditch because I thought that was going to be easy. Turns out it's not.
It's really not easy. It's
really not that easy.
It's really difficult.
Yes.
It's not what I advise beginners to do at all.
Well, I think it's that bit.
Yeah. I think it's to get it right.
You need this
to get it looking perfect. It's far easier with this. And what this is going to do is just go very, very close to that seam, but it's hidden there within the ditch. You don't want to be sewing exactly on the seam. So I had a little wobble there when I was going that way, but that's a better example going that way. And the other way is okay.
We all have wobbles.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So that makes it really easy because you're literally just following... Just following the seam.
Pop it in the ditch.
So anywhere, you know, like on sampler quilts, that's great. Anything where you have an intricate design in the middle, perhaps if you've done some applique, you don't want to be quilting over it. You want to just be outlining your blocks. This is perfect for that, absolutely perfect. And will give, you know, it makes it far easier to make that straight line.
We've had 2 questions about the ruffler. Christine says, how do you estimate how much fabric to use with the ruffler?
You would have to work out how many pleats you want. I mean, it comes with instructions and tells you about the settings, more specifically about the settings than I explained. But it tells you millimetres, the distance. So then you would just need to calculate exactly what it is you're making and then times it by...
It's in the packet.
However many things.
And Susan says, could you attach a flat piece of material at the same time with the ruffler?
Yes. Yes. You can put 2 fabrics at the same time. So you put one in and lay another on the top. So you're stitching through 2. Because I did one with the fold. I did an example where it was folded, but you can put one fabric and then place another one on top. You might want to use tweezers to help you make sure there's no creases in the fabric, but yes, you can layer up. Possibly even do 3, depending on which types of fabric you're using.
How exciting!
Yeah, but test it first with whatever you're doing.
Don't
just
go
give
straight
it a
with your
test.
favourite fabric, for goodness sakes. What do you want to do next?
Okay, the next one is the free motion.
Oh, nice.
Foot. So I'll just slide that off.
Now, with the free motion, with everything, you have to have a little unscrew, don't you? Of the ankle.
So you just need to take that part off. Because the free motion foot doesn't clip in the same way as other feet. This one just grabs on. But before I do that, I just want to go through what you get.
You're getting quite a lot in your packet here. This is this one. You get a closed toe foot, an open toe foot, a clear view foot, and a quilting plate. Which is which, Lucy Brennan?
So if I just flip this over, we can use that because then you'll be able to see it slightly better. So this is the part that attaches to your machine, and the little claw just grips onto the shank.
Right.
Okay.
And then you just tighten it with your...
And you just screw it through there. And then that part there is the closed toe. Right. So that little circular part is the closed toe.
So when you do your free motion, it's just a straight stitch, it's just an up and down stitch, and so it just goes through that little toe
It just goes through that little...
Okay.
hole in that circle there.
But what happens if I want to do something more intricate?
So if you want to do something else, you can unscrew this. Oh. So there's just a little screw there. You unscrew that part and you can attach one of these. So that one's your open toe. Right. So that just means that you can see what's directly in front of you.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean? So you've got that view there, which is very similar to your regular foot on your sewing machine. Yeah. And then you also have this one, which is your clear guide.
I like this one. It makes me look like I think it's a bullseye. Yes, heading for this bit.
So this one's nice because you can see directly, you know, what you're stitching.
But
and then also you've got those lines.
The 1/4 inch is giving you that 1/4 inch guide. So if you are doing free motion and you want it to come in and have that even distance, you've got it.
And what's excellent about this one then is you can echo quilt very easily because you've got those markings on. So if you're wanting, you know, sometimes that's very difficult to echo a line that you've already done and keep the same distance between those lines. So this part makes it easier to do that. And then this bit is called, what's it called? I've forgotten what it's called. The plate.
That is your quilting plate.
So you can pop that over your feed dogs. So if you have a machine that your feed dogs won't drop, you can slot that in, provided you've got the 2 little holes either side of your feed dogs that you don't know what they're for. There, that one and that one.
And then that drops that down.
There you go, there and that one. If you've got little holes like that on your plate, this will just slot in. I'll just show you.
Oh, that's clever. I've never seen anything like that before.
It will just slot in and cover your feet. But if you can drop your feed dogs, you don't need to use it.
But on my old Singer, my 50-plus-year-old Singer, I ain't dropping anything.
No.
And you don't want to drop it either.
So you just need to make sure, you can't just put it on. It's just going to fall off. But it's just got little sections there that will fit in. Yes.
That's very clever. £65 for all of those. And you're getting 4 feet in there. So you get your closed toe foot, your open toe foot, your clear view foot, and your quilting plate. Clever stuff.
So it's like it's like 3 feet and a plate.
Yeah, 3 feet and a plate.
Yeah.
Clever. Any questions? Do ask. Lucy's here. She knows. She knows.
I know a little.
Yay, send us a... You know a lot.
I know a lot about feet.
She's like the stitching chiropractor.
Apart from what the fix,
apart from
chiropodist. I'm a chiropodist, a sewing machine chiropodist. It's not a thing, is it? So you can see there how that's just, those little claws have just gone around the shank of the machine, and I've just tightened that up with the screw. So I was having a random little squiggly play with the foot. So the important thing, there are a couple of things that are important to remember when you're doing free motion quilting. So I did a little bit yesterday, didn't I?
I runneth over today with it.
Yes. So there's 2 things. The first thing is you want to lower your foot and you want to bring up your bobbin thread, and that's going to prevent any bird nesting on the back of your machine. So I've just lowered the foot, put the needle down, raised it, and it just brings up that bottom thread. And then I'm just going to slide that out of the way. And then I'm going to hold on to these threads when I begin sewing. So you want some nice tails there to hold on to. You can begin sewing, and then when you get to a point where you're far enough away, you can clip those off so that you're not catching them as you move back around. So if you have a needle down position on your machine, this is the time to use it. It makes it incredibly helpful. I'm just going to try and catch that thread, actually. No, I've just done that. No, never mind. I'll just go for it. If you can get your threads under, that makes it a bit easier. So make sure that your foot is down. Quite often people will start going and they're catching the bobbin thread underneath. So then you can just go ahead.
Yay!
I'm going to move that thread out the way, sorry, that was my fault. And then you can just go ahead and sew in whichever direction you want to. You're creating the stitch length, so if I'm going slowly, I'm going to get lots of little stitches, and if I move it faster, you wouldn't want to do that, but you can see there how it makes really big stitches. So
you truly are in control of everything, aren't you?
So you're in control of everything.
Stitch length, everything. Yeah. That's brilliant.
So you can move it right the way round, so you can make swirls.
Hey, look at that. I like this because now quilting is becoming whatever you want it to be. And I really love the idea that you could do this, so you could make your own design, then you could add on, you know, the other foot that comes with it, with the red bit
with the target.
With the target.
Yes.
And then you could repeat that, but a quarter of an inch away.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So you can get really, really intricate with it.
Nice.
Create any kind
nice.
of shapes you like.
Look at that.
I mean, I'm just making this up. This is clearly not very much thought has gone into what I was doing there, but
isn't it? I quite like the coral look.
And then you get a nice texture. You get a really nice texture from it as well.
There you go. But you see, if you that's brilliant, isn't it? But if you were worried, you could always use that foot. You see. And then you'd just use it as either quarter or a half inch and echo it all the way around by just keeping that in line.
Fab. So you can see where the stitches are bigger there. That's where I was going more slowly. Can you see that? Yes.
So bigger.
Sorry, that's where I was going quicker. And then the smaller ones where I was going more slowly.
Yeah. Right, we need to move on next foot.
Okay.
We've got a message. Hello, Tasha and Lucy. Love the show. Creative grids are my new best friends. Yay! Now planning a foot collection.
Well done.
What did we do before sewing quarter, says Belle.
Oh.
I don't know. Who knows? Right, next foot.
It's nice to have the different feet because it just gives you more options of the things that you can do. You can do more things with the different feet.
So
the next one is the beading foot. So I'm just going to talk about this because we don't have beads.
If you need beads, I believe there's a pretty good channel for that called Jewellery Maker.
There you go.
I can say that because that's our sister channel. I'm not like sending everybody off to somewhere else.
No.
But if you do need beads and stuff, do you want me to open that? We're not
struggling.
No, I can't open it.
No, okay.
We'll just show it you in the packet. You get 2 feet in this. Why do we need 2 feet?
So there's 2 feet. There's a wider one and a narrower one. So the wider foot is suitable for beads with a diameter of 2.5 to 4 millimetres. And the narrow foot is suitable for beads or pearls with a diameter less than 2 millimetres.
That's really tiny.
That's very small.
So how is it? Do they have to all be threaded before you, or is it?
So it would be like a string of, like a string of beads. And then the foot has a groove that allows the beads to pass through, and you use a zigzag stitch. So at the top there, it tells you which stitch to use. So that's just your normal zigzag. It also tells you the tension and the stitch length and width that you need to use. So it's all on there for you.
And then your beads just pass through.
And it passes through, and it just zigzags over them to hold that string of beads in place.
Again, another foot I just didn't know existed, didn't know how to use. That is fab. Suddenly, you can put beads on everything. They're beautiful.
Yes, beaded. So if you're somebody that does, you know, a lot of embellishment, decoration, be it with dressmaking or even quilts, because a lot of people do, you know, art quilts or wall hangings, this would be
so you don't
perfect
have to,
for that.
You don't have to hand stitch. This is brilliant.
Have to hand stitch.
Oh, we've got an email apparently from Kay. Okay. Hi, ladies, she says. Great show as always. Thank you. Would you use... Sorry,
yes,
I'm having to be told it because it was an email rather than one that comes down to here. Would you use a stitch in the ditch foot or a walking foot to stitch in the on a large quilt?
If I was going to stitch in the ditch, I'd use a stitch in the ditch foot. You can do it with a walking foot, but then you don't have that guide.
Okay.
And like we were saying, it is really tricky to get it very straight along the seam.
Yes.
So the only time I wouldn't use the stitch in the ditch for quilting a stitch in the ditch line is if I had a very thick quilt. If the quilt was quite thick, I was using a very thick wadding, or it was a very heavy fabric. I don't know why you'd be doing that, but say you were. Then I would go with a walking foot.
Okay.
So if it was something like a you know, the very furry fabric, something like that, I maybe wouldn't use the ditch foot for that because you need that even feed of the walking foot.
Talking of even feed feet, even feed foot with quilting guide is our next foot. Seamless.
Seamless.
Yeah, there it is. It's almost like planned it, you know. The even feed foot walks over fabric to assist with smooth feeding. Clearly no toddlers involved. There isn't no smooth feeding going on in my house, let me tell you. Oh, this is very good. No shifting, no puckering.
No. This is, of all the feet, is that true? I think it's true. I think this is my favourite foot. It's my favourite foot. I'll just say it. For quilting, without a doubt, this is my favourite foot.
This one, what I like about this is that you can use it on knits, you can use it on vinyl or leather.
Knits?
Oh, no.
I think because we were talking about toddlers. I was like, what do you mean? You can't do anything to knits. Sorry, knit fabric, of course.
Do you know what, though? I went to pick Freddie up from nursery the other day, and there was the sign on the nursery
I hate
door.
that sign.
You know, the knit sign. I've been scratching ever since. Like, the minute I see the sign, that's it, I'm itching.
Just make a public service announcement. Can we bring back knit nurses, please? It would be really helpful to parents. Yes, knit nurses. They were marvellous. Right, anyway.
So it's not that kind of knit.
It's not that
kind
of knit.
Fabric.
Yeah, like a jersey, something like that. And it is really helpful on those sorts of fabrics as well, because oftentimes, any time where you feel like you're having to push the fabric through your machine, that's when you should be using a walking foot.
Right.
And you can use it, I mean, I've put zips on with it when I'm going through a lot of layers. Yes, you can use it for more things than you would think you can.
Let's see it.
So I use the walking foot for quilting. primarily, although I do use it for other things. So what's lovely about this is the walking foot has the feed dogs on the bottom of the foot.
Yes.
So in the same way that your machine has the feed dogs underneath that grip the fabric, the foot has them underneath there, so it's feeding it at the same time. So the top and bottom are feeding through evenly.
So it's equal grab, top and bottom.
Yes.
So it's like having a crocodile grabbing it and pulling it through.
Absolutely. So we
Grab
call
and pull.
it, it's an even feed quilting foot, or what we call a walking foot.
Okay.
So it's exactly the
same
same thing. They're not different. So I use this a lot for quilting, and I'm just going to use the outer edge of the foot as a guide to do my straight line. So I already had that ditch quilting line.
So Lucy's favourite foot coming right up.
And it does, I mean, I'm going to hands-free, shouldn't do that really, but, you know, just to show you, it's the foot that's moving the fabric. I'm not pushing the fabric in any way, shape or form. It's the foot that's feeding the fabric through. So it's just feeding those layers.
Can you see the little
and doing
white
that
bit
really
jiggling
evenly.
up and down there?
Yeah.
That is grabbing it and pulling that top layer through along with the bottom.
Yeah. And it's doing that because you've put the, there we go, put the bar on the top of there. So that's going up and down, and that's what's moving those feet. You can see them really clearly there. Those are the feet that are feeding it through.
So you might be one of the many people that came up to me at the Great British Sewing Bee saying, I normally dressmake, but actually now I want to have a go at quilting. You might not have a walking foot. This is your time to get it. We only have a limited quantity. $49.95 is where you need to go for that.
And it is really fantastic. And it comes with a guide as well. So the guide just slots into the back of the foot, and you can reposition it. There we go. You can reposition it and you can move it over. And what I love about this walking foot is the one that I used to have. Can I say this? It was a cheap walking foot. It was a cheap walking foot. And it came with a guide. Sorry, I'm just going to say it. It came with a guide, and all it had was holes at the back of here. Okay, so you slotted the guide in, and then as you're sewing, this would move about. Well, but look at that, look.
No, it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere because it's properly slotted into the back there. So that's the advantage there. And then that means you can echo your straight lines. You can move this. You have to really tug at it, but it will move so that you can create some distance between your lines. So if you're doing straight line quilting and you want to echo those lines, or even if it's a curve, you can do that with a walking foot as well. Nice. It means you're going to be able to echo it. You just put your line under there.
I'm going to quote my husband, buy cheap, buy twice.
Yes.
And that's what happens, isn't it? But when you get a good quality one, you're good to go. We've had a message from Lorraine. She says, morning, love it when Lucy's on. Morning's not the same without sewing quarter. And that's a message from Crazy Lorraine, as John says.
So I'm just going to show you there. So I've put that guide in, and you can see there, it's just running along that line. So I'm doing a straight line all the way over here. And well, she says straight. If I'm keeping my eye on there, I'm watching that go along the line.
Yep.
Do you see what I mean? Whereas you wouldn't be able to do that without a guide.
Great.
You'd have to draw on all your lines. So you don't need to draw on your straight lines if you've got the guide.
Ta-da! Perfect. Right, next foot. Oh, can we do the circle one?
Yes, we can do
that. Now, if you want to use the circle one, let me show you that from the front as well. There you go. The circle one allows you to sew... Here we go. Revolutionary. Sew circles.
Yes.
Woohoo! It's very Ron Seal, isn't it? This is your circular sewing attachment. So it's ideal for sewing circles with a straight stitch, zigzag, decorative stitches, or even lettering, would you believe? Could you imagine that? Oh, doing something for a christening or something and putting in all the names. Now, this will do circles up to 26 centimetres in diameter. They're stitched perfectly. I do like this. Oh, do you want to see some examples that Lucy did?
Oh, yes.
While you put it on.
Okay. Well, no, I want to talk about something before I put it on.
Okay, before you put it on.
That's fine.
Here we go. Look at this. It's a bit like a spirograph.
I know it is, which is so fun. I always wanted one of those, never got one.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah, and me too, me too. So you've got your decorative stitches, you've got your straight stitch. This is perfect. My circular quilt is coming on a pace when I look at this.
I did it with a straight stitch and then I thought, oh, shall I try it with a decorative stitch?
Yes.
And I just think it's so dramatic, it looks beautiful.
Yes. And it's one of those things people are going to go, wow, that's amazing. How did you do it? Using this. And how do we do it?
So there are a couple of things I need to talk about first. So the first thing is you need to have the same size bobbin cover on your machine to be able to fit this, because it's not a foot that goes on your machine, it's like an attachment to your machine, and it actually fits in to the where the bobbin cover is. So I do think we've measured that somewhere. Customer services may have the measurements.
It's 35 millimetres by 42 millimetres.
There you go. Magic. Magic.
So I'm told, blame producer Paul if that was wrong.
And I have to say, I've used a lot of machines. I've taught a lot of classes with various different machines. This is a standard. It's
pretty standard, isn't it?
It's a standard bobbin cover. I'm not going to say there are different ones. I'm not going to say there aren't.
It's always an exception.
So you do need to measure it, but I mean, it's fairly standard.
So take that out.
So you take that out. Now, another important thing, I've left my walking foot on. I started to unscrew it, thinking I needed to put a different foot on. I don't. I'm leaving my walking foot on. I've tried it with a normal foot and with a walking foot, and I definitely prefer the look you get with the walking foot.
Okay, cool.
So my advice is, if you have a walking foot, use it to do the circles. You don't need to, but it does.
If you've got all the gadgets and gizmos,
yes,
use them.
So then you've got your what's it called? Circular sewing attachment. Get the name right. And it's this section here that fits on top of the bobbin case. You want to show that. So it's that part there fits on top of the bobbin case.
You can see it's the same sort of size.
Yes,
shape.
exactly.
Okay.
And then you move this part along to get your different diameter of circles.
Right.
And then this is the cover. This bit is a cover that protects a metal spike.
Right.
So please don't touch it.
I like how you look
there
at me
you are.
there.
See there?
Yeah.
It's like a big pin there. Can you see there? You can see that.
Yeah.
And that's very sharp. It's very important that you always keep, she says, the cover on top of there to keep it protected. You could keep your packaging, keep it stored safely away. Okay, so with that announcement out of the way.
Okay, so that just clips in.
There we go. So it clips in and clips out.
Oh, that's clever.
Okay, so it just exactly the same way as your bobbin case. That's it. That's all you need to do.
I need one of these in my life.
Then you want to stabilise the fabric.
Okay, so that's
that you're sewing the circle on. It's very important, yeah. Unless you're using a thicker weight fabric, you can just give it a go and see how you get. But any sort of this is just a lightweight fusible, but a lightweight or a medium weight fusible is just going to give the fabric a bit more stability so that you can sew round in a circle. So I'm removing the cover, and then I'm going to place the fabric underneath the foot and just pop that.
There goes the spike.
Through there.
Yeah, look at the spike.
The spike is just sticking out of the fabric. So you decide wherever you want your, circle to be, and then you're going to cover it because you don't want to accidentally
health and safety.
Put your hand
always
on there.
Important.
So I'm going to go with a decorative stitch because we've not got very much time. So I'll do.
Yes. Off you go.
A bit of this.
Yeah. 1 P&P, so you can get multiple feet, and we'll only charge you $2.95. You can buy a sewing machine and multiple feet, and buy whatever you like. We will only charge you $2.95 per day, which is really lovely. Right, okay.
So you can go with whatever stitch you want to do. You can play around with the widths and what have you, and then you just start sewing, and you just let the machine do the work. The one thing with the decorative stitch is sort of how you end. Do you see what I mean? So if you want it perfectly neat and your stitches to match up perfectly, you probably want to... Sorry, I'm just going to make this go a little bit faster. You probably want to, practice, because you might want to adjust the width of your circle. Yes. So you can just see it's just moving around by itself.
And it's doing it. It is literally doing it by itself. That's amazing.
So that's why it helps to have the walking foot on, you see, because then it's feeding top and bottom. So that just makes it easy. So it's just spinning around.
Ah, Edwina says, how clever are the designers of those feet? They should be knighted or given a Nobel Prize for services to sewers.
They absolutely should. I completely agree, Edwina.
Should. Yes.
They should.
I love this. I need this in my life. Oh my goodness, I need this in my life. It's $49.95, but you've got perfect circle every time. That's worth every penny. Because let's face it, if you've got my other favourite thing, which is the Fiskars circle cutter, you need one of these.
Yes.
This is brilliant.
So this would be a beautiful way to finish off some embroidery or something like that. You could, if you were using it as a decorative stitch like this, you could cut away, because you've got the stabiliser on the back, you could cut away the fabric around the circle. If you're doing any reverse applique,
oh, nice.
Excellent for reverse applique, you know, obviously in a circle.
This is brilliant. So this is the hardest part, is it, getting it to finish?
Well, it's just getting it to finish. You would just need to play about with the settings if you wanted it, you know, to finish perfectly.
Ooh.
But if you were doing a lot of circles, to be honest, it wouldn't matter so much. You wouldn't really notice.
A little bit more, a little bit more.
Yeah.
There it is. Ah.
So then to take it out, you're just going to remove that cover again.
Yeah.
Lift that off.
That's my new favourite
out
forever.
Of the way.
That's brilliant.
Let's see. And then make sure that you put that cover back on.
Look, before your very eyes. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Those Christmas table runners, all those sorts of things.
Beautiful.
Lisa, we've got 4 minutes to go through 2 feet.
Okay.
I don't know quite where this hour's gone. Can we have another one?
That went really quick.
Okay, so...
And they do more. They do even more than I said.
Ribbon and sequin foot, is that quite self-explanatory?
Yes, so that's very similar to the beading foot, except for sequins and ribbons. So it doesn't... stitch width 0 to 7, stitch length 2.5, thread tension auto. You can use decorative stitches with this. It will feed your ribbon through, and again, it will do the same thing with the sequins.
So things like your Lotus, your 340, your 540, all those machines, this is going to fit. Fabulous. Right, that is your sequin one. Now, the last one is your border guide foot. What's that doing?
I really, really like this one.
So it's a circle one.
This one is, well, I do like a clear foot.
Okay.
I think this is one of those ones, you know, the circle cut is very exciting and you can do lots of fabulous things with it, but this is one of those ones that's very practical.
Okay.
Foot. So it's got like wings either side of the foot. Can you sort of see that?
Yeah.
So it has, oh, well, hello. It has little wings either side of the foot with guides on. So like with the walking foot, you can put that metal guide on. This just has those guides either side. So for decorative stitches, for quilting, for board, you know, stitching borders on. That's a great one for that.
Excellent.
Yeah, anybody who does a lot of top stitching and things like that, this would work really nicely because you can use those lines as a guide and move your needle over to get different effects.
That's very good.
And if you can show the back there, it's got the decorative stitching, which they can be quite hard to line up, actually.
Yeah, actually.
So having that guide on there just means that you can get those perfectly neat anywhere that you've got a gap, you know, you want a gap, and then you can go back in and fill those in with other stitches. So that means you're going to have a really beautiful effect with your decorative stitches with that one.
$26.95. Lucy, thank you so much. What an absolute joy.
Very welcome.
You're back in an hour.
I am.
To do this.
Yes. Interlocking squares.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Very welcome.
Who knew there was so much about feet? Ruffles, circles, all sorts.
Lots of fun to be had.
But that's excellent. Yeah. Thank you. Gosh. I'll see you in a bit. I've got a few things left to show you. Because let's face it, if you're sewing, you're going to need some beautiful threads. And here we go. So Aurifil is particularly gorgeous. It saves fluffing up your machine. Here you go, it's your home to roost. Look at the gorgeous colours. Ooh, lovely, lovely. $33.95. This has been definitely one of the threads of choice from our designers, and they've been pestering us for this for a very long time. So we've finally got it in. Look at the luster on that. Absolutely beautiful. And when you get to use it, really lovely. For many, many reasons. Right, here we go. Next one up. This is your Dandy Days. So if you're after some Dandy Days, that's your colour. Oh, nice. That's your colourways in your Dandy Days. That's $33.95 again. Now, this one has the 2 different weights in it with this one. So you've got 50 weight and 80 weight. Okay. And then, oh, this is my favourite packet because it's called Happy Days or Happy Colours with the most miserable face on the front. Bless her. I just wanted to smile. I really do. But the colours are beautiful. There you go. I bet you she just doesn't like having her photo taken like me. Right, stock updates. The most popular item of the hour was the Clearview quilting foot, which means you have to check out your basket. Lucy's nodding. She's going, yeah, good choice. Good choice. And the Stitch in the Ditch, very, very popular as well. So please check out your baskets. Make sure that you've got them. Make sure you've got them secured. They're only yours once you've checked out your basket. Once they're just sitting in your basket, other people can swoop in and grab. So please make sure that you've grabbed them. If you're after that Clearview quilting foot, it's $19.95. Please do make sure that you've got that. Now, it's Dashwood Studios after this very short break. So grab a cuppa and join me in just a moment.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for the Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
Finally, the wait is over. Liberty is coming to Sewing Quarter, so get out your diaries as this is a date you'll not want to miss. Join us on the 21st of October when we delve into the wonderful world of Liberty and launch their brand new English Garden collection of quilting weight fabrics on Sewing Quarter. Dressmaker and self-confessed Liberty addict Jenny Smith will be alongside John Scott from 8 a.m. to talk you through the must-have collection. She'll also be showcasing a fabulous quilted bag made out of the iconic brand's fabrics. The bag, perfect for your next project, allows the pretty classic 19th century floral prints to really shine through intricate patchwork. So don't miss our Liberty launch on the 21st of October from 8 a.m. only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78. Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
Wrap up warm, pack up your supplies and get ready to take a trip to the North Pole with Joe Carter. On Saturday the 21st of October, Joe will unveil a brand new soft toy that's just perfect for Christmas, a cuddly polar bear. This delightful fleece creature has delicate hand-embroidered snowflake motifs as a feature on its paw and chest for that added festive touch. Joe Carter and me, John Scott, will bring this character to life through a live demonstration. So don't miss our polar bear's exciting debut on Saturday the 21st of October at 9 a.m. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love.
Join us on Thursday the 19th of October for a spooktacular Facebook Live. Natasha McCarty has plenty of Halloween tricks and treats up her sleeve, exclusively for Facebook Live viewers. To find out what spectral surprises she has in store, head to our Facebook page at 12:30 p.m. on Thursday the 19th of October. Don't miss out, it'll be spooktacular! Follow us on Twitter for more inspiration, top tips, news, and share your own creations with us.
Feet. Who knew? Who knew there was so much to feet? Lucy, isn't she just a wealth of knowledge? Brilliant. Thank you so much, Lucy. Now, here's the thing. Christmas presents, or maybe just a little present for yourself. This is our summer tea, heat and treat bundle. Have I said that right? Yeah. And it's basically a fabulous sewing box coming stuffed full of all the goodies that you need to get going. So maybe you just want one that you can just have stashed away and take out to workshops. There's plenty of space underneath the tray that you can store your fabric and everything in. And then you've got all of these goodies coming with it. You've got scissors, you've got thread, you've got a pin cushion, you've got a tape measure, you've got pins, you've got needles, you've got more pins, you've got pins galore. All of that for $29.95. Isn't that excellent value for money? Now, you might be able to help us actually. Message in, because Lucy said as she walked out the studio, oh, it reminds me of that Elvis Presley movie. What is it? Blank. Hawaiian something? Oh, it's going to annoy all of us. Yeah. Come on, Mike. You cameraman Mike, you do films. You should know. Message us, because it's doing our head in, all of us now. Blue Hawaii. Paradise, what, Hawaii style? Which one was it you were thinking, Luce? Come back in and tell us. Now, we've got this one, which isn't sending us crazy, so that's okay. This one here, look at this. It's just whichever flavour you fancy, isn't it? Coming with exactly the same, with your scissors, your needles, your pins, 2 different types of pins. This is your Mexican twist. You see this, that you see a lot of our designers, they have that pin cushion on your wrist thing, which is very handy. I kind of want one of those. And then you've got your scissors in there, all sorts, all coming in there. Ta-da! $29.95. Awesome. We like. Oh, just to let you know, the circular foot. Oh gosh, half the stock is gone. Yeah. Do you know what? We could have done another hour, couldn't we? Just on feet. It was so interesting. We didn't realise it was going to be quite as so much to say. So yeah, we'll have a think about that. Gosh. So yes, if you're after the circular foot, please check out your baskets, because half of that has gone. Should we do bundles first? Let's do that. Yeah. Now, it's all about Dashwood today on the fabrics in this hour. So what we've done for you, this is the Altitude collection. And we've popped a couple of Dashwood fabrics in there, and then some other colours that go with it, bundled up beautifully for you. So let me show you the Dashwood fabrics. Oh, should we do it quickly, then we'll go into more detail later. Okay, so the Dashwood fabrics, that one and that one. And then you've got all of that. So you've got your mountains fabric, you've got your teal outline fabric, then you've got bright yellow, you've got glacier grey there, and you've got sherbet. That's what you're getting in that bundle. Woo, lovely. We'll have a play with that later. Now, let's stay with Altitude for a moment. So this is the next Altitude one. This is bringing in your trees. So the 2 Dashwood fabrics, let me put them side by side. They're your 2 Dashwood fabrics there. But we've also popped in with this. You've got your linear in there. Now, which one? Where's that one? Oh, that's your sulphur. Look at that. Ooh, nice. You've got your white triangles, you've got your sulphur, you've got your pearl blue, and your citrus. It's a blue. Nice. Very nice. So that's that bundle, looking fabulous there together. So I'll do the last Altitude one, which is down here. So this is the dark version of what we've just seen. And again, 2.5 meters again, but look at that. And I love that we've put it with that pink. Wow, there it is. So you've got your navy trees, you've got your deep orchid there, you've got your ecru, which is there, your ochre, yes, and your vintage blue. What a lovely combo. That might be one of my favourites if we're going, oh, no, I don't know. Oh, tricky. Right, now, hang on. This is the confetti range. So we've done the Altitude range now. Let's have a look at the confetti range. This is your Dashwood confetti range. And if I just show you everything that we've got, and then we can go through it in more detail in a minute. So $20.99 gives you your confetti charcoal. Then all of these 100% cotton, by the way. All of these fabrics this hour, 100% cotton. And 0.5 meters in each of these bundles. So that's 2.5 meters there. So you've got your charcoal flower fabric, you've got your candy floss, you've got your charcoal there, you've got your lovely yellow, and then you've got your spot-on sky there. But all together, looking really rather fabulous. Beautiful. Now, the next confetti one. Oh, nice. Nice, nice. So the next confetti one is this one. I do love this. We had this in did we have this in a Quilt As You Go bundle last week? And it was so popular. We just had to bring it back for you. $22.99. This is your confetti multi-flowers. So you've got your multi-flowers, which is this one. You've then got your zinc linear texture there. You've got your baby blue. You've got your flamingo down there. And then you've got your cheeky pink spot on there. Nice. $22.99 is what we've got that for. And then sticking with that confetti range, this is indeed the last one, Producer Paul. Yeah. Look at this. Loving the blues in here. Do you know what? This would make a lovely alternative children's quilt, wouldn't it? One that's going to take them through not just babyhood, but into, you know, those early years and beyond. Or if you just love those colours, go for it. So we've got your cream small flower fabric there, part of the confetti range from Dashwood again. Baby pink. You've got your turquoise there. You've got your spot-on sunrise there, sunshine rather. And then you've also got your spot-on aqua there. But all together, just looking, it's a happy bundle. That is happiness in a bundle, if you ask me. Beautiful. Love that. $22.49. Hooray! Now, fabrics by the half metre. This is what we're kind of famous for, because we were the first channel to start selling you fabrics by the half metre, which is very important to us. So sometimes you just need more than half a metre. It's true. So all you need to do is head to the website, and underneath where we're live, you go on, you have a look, you see which fabric you want, and then you just put the quantity that you want. So if you want a metre, you'd put 2, because it's 2 lots of half metres. Now this is from the Altitude range again. This is your Dashwood Studio Altitude Bluebirds. I'm gonna there. Now that would be a metre, so you'd put 2 units in to get that much fabric. But maybe you want it for the back of a quilt, maybe you want it for a dress. I don't know what you need it for, but sometimes we just need more. You know, lots of places sell fat quarters. Not many people will do it by the half metre. So that's £6.50 per half metre. Grab it. Now, hang on. There's a special way that they've started folding the fabrics, and I just... So like that, and then like that, and then like that. Yeah, that looks about right. Let's do that. Okay, so the next one here. Now, we've got this bundled, so if you want it as part of a bundle, you go, yeah, half a metre's fine. Great. If you want more, and it goes really beautifully with the birds, actually, doesn't it? Yes. Yeah. So if you want more, then look at those two together. They look lovely, don't they? And of course, colours, because you're buying part of a range, and so the colours, of course, go. So they're your trees. Ooh. Look at those. It looks like it looks like a ski slope, doesn't it? Like a slalom ski slope. So whatever you want this for, but look, because it's part of a collection, they do it in 2 colourways. And again, we've got this in a half metre in part of a bundle. But if you want the lighter colour, and so you can just see the difference. Sometimes, you know, we want to do half and half and do those contrasting colours. So that's your ecru there. And that was the dark one that we've just seen. So this is your ecru. This is the one that's on the screen at the moment, £6.50. But I just wanted you to show sort of daytime, nighttime. Daytime, nighttime. There you go. Now, the ecru one is also in the bundles. And that's the most popular bundle so far today. There you go. Now, next one. Oh, this is, I think, out of the Altitude range, this might be up there as one of my favourite fabrics. Look at this one. Look at that. There we go. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that just really, really beautiful? It's the colours. It's the colours, and then the fact that you've got that kind of ochre-y gold pencil outline on them, which is just exquisite. It could take you to all sorts of parts of the world, couldn't it? So £6.50 for your altitude mountain fabric. It's a really lovely one, isn't it, Producer Paul? It's like, yeah, like that, like that. Beautiful cushions you can make with that. But then if you're just, you don't have to use it like mountains, because if you put it on its side like that, it's just got a very jaggedy feel. It looks almost camo, doesn't it? It looks almost sort of camouflagey. So you don't have to use it, mountains, bit more camouflagey. Don't know what that is. Who knows? But it's up to you. Nobody's saying you have to use it that way. We won't come around and bang on your door and say, you didn't use it how it was intended. No, we won't. Now this just picks up the detail of the outline of the mountains. Rather lovely, isn't it? So maybe you just want to pick out that gold or that ochre. It's nice, isn't it? But again, do it that way and it gives you a whole other feel. It does, a completely different one. Look at it that way up there. There, like that. See, then you see all sorts of different things. So £6.50, the way it's intended is that way. Play. It's entirely up to you. I think that one would make a lovely border as well. Right, next one up. Oh, no, now you see, if we're going outline, this is my favourite outline one. Yeah, this is the teal outline one. Beautiful. It does look almost gold, doesn't it? So it looks expensive, and that's what I like about it. It's looking expensive without being gaudy or garish. It's classy. That's a better way of saying it. It's classy. £6.50 for your altitude teal outline fabric. That's by the 1/2 metre. 100% cotton, as you would expect. All of the fabrics today on today's show are all 100% cotton. Sometimes we get asked. Sorry. What can I say? I've been hanging out with a 3-year-old too much. Language is just a problem. Okay, now, this is now part of the confetti range. This is your small flowers out of your confetti range. It's rather lovely, isn't it? I just love the colours that they pull through on here. Because it's not just a bog standard yellow, is it? Again, it's almost that goldy colour. You could mix ranges. Producer Paul, I'm just going out there. Because you've got that colour, why couldn't you mix? Look at that. I think that looks lovely. I think that works. Anyone else? What do you think? Yeah, why not? Because it's the same colour. You see in there as well, that's the same colour as that flower. So you can mix through. That's what I like about Dashwood. You've got that colour palette, so you can pull different ones through. So if maybe that is your favourite fabric, but you really want some flowers as well, and then that doesn't have to be necessarily mountains. It's entirely up to you. Or maybe you've bought this bundle here, and you want to have a floral with it. In which case, look at that. That works, because then you've got those. So options is all I'm saying today. The similar, well, completely different designs, but similar colour palettes with some of them that you can really mix and match with, I think. Now, sticking with the confetti. Now, we had this on a quilt yesterday. It was so popular, we decided to bring it back by the 1/2 metre for you, because so many of you wanted this. And here it is. £6.50 gives you your Dashwood Studio confetti teal flower. That's a lovely big design. You can fussy cut and all sorts with that, can't you? And of course, because it's part of the confetti range, look, the colours go. Nice. Very nice. Oh, yes. Next one up, by the 1/2 metre, is your charcoal. So when you're, is that right? Yes. Yes. So when you're quilting, sometimes you want a dark colour. Sometimes you want different size patterns. Sometimes you just want that contrast. Then there that is. So £6.50 for your confetti charcoal. Beautiful. But you see, same colours coming through. So maybe if you want a large print, you'd go with that. And then you want a smaller print, you'd mix that through. But all the colours work. So you see, then you start to get, you know, you want your dark tones, your mid-tones, da-da-da-da-da. That, because of the larger one, works out being kind of your mid-tone, that's your dark, and that's your light. Bing! Now, also available by the ½ metre, which again goes with all of these, beautifully, of course, as we would expect, is this one. Love this one. In fact, I think this one has to go with the charcoal. I think that's kind of, that would be law for me. Look at those two together, aren't they pretty? Love that. Love that. Super pretty. So this one is your confetti multi-flower fabric. Just gorgeous. Loving that. And then that one was the charcoal one that we've just seen. There we go. Now, you can get that in a bundle as well. It's just up to you. You might want more. You might love it that much that you basically need to get more. Now, let me show you the triangles in white. There we go. Now, this is your triangles in white. Here it is. Ha-ha! So all of those triangles, and again, all these colours coming through in all the altitude range. So if you wanted, I'm grabbing this one first because it's my favourite one, and secondly because it's closest to hand. But you can see it's pulling those teals through. No problem at all. Lovely. So that's all our fabric in our Dashwood Studio hour. Now, everybody loves a winner. And we had a competition last week. And it was to win £250 worth of fabric. £250, who can do with that? Now, the winner of £250 worth of fabric is, drum roll please, Barbara Fisher. Congratulations to you. Oh, you lucky lady. £250 worth of goodies. That's going to make anyone's day, isn't it? Isn't that oh, is that the fabric in the background or that tilde? Hey, you're going to get all sorts of goodies in there. Lucky you. Now, last time we started looking at feet. Don't worry, we're talking about sewing feet for your sewing machine. We're not getting our feet out here. No. I'm going to recap some of the most popular ones. Let's go circular first because my favourite. Only 4 left. You've been going crazy for it. Only 4 of these left. £49.95. I didn't even know this was a thing that you get. I thought you had to get a really expensive sewing machine that had that thing that you could do circles with. No, 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 no. Look what Lucy did. Live on air. That. She did that really quickly as well. Because I saw, because she put it up to hair mode. Not tortoise. It went straight up to the fastest and she whizzed around. Do interface. Any questions as to whether or not that's going to fit your machine, do give our call centre a call. They're always happy to help. Carol sent us a picture. Oh, she sent us a picture on. Oh, regarding circles. Let's have a look. Ooh, look at it. She's been doing it for how many years? For years. Oh, she didn't specify how many. Oh, look at that. Fabulous. Oh, lovely. You see? And everybody's sitting there going, how did you do that? It's the joy of it. Beautiful. She's all ready for Christmas. Excellent. Now, the ruffler. It's a bit of a crazy foot, this one. And it's just so clever because it scoops the fabric into it and means that you can produce, hello, ruffles. Like that. Even ruffles. That's the one that we did live on air, is the orange one. Even ruffles before your very eyes. But it goes up. You can change the size of it. Say you want to go a little bit bigger, then do. But look how even that is. And really how quick. And then that's your pleats. Now, I saw a demo the other day of a lady that made her own pleating board. That was a bit complicated. She should have just had one of these. It just would have done it, wouldn't it? No need for a pleating board. She was tucking stuff all over the place and then sort of basting it. Oh, very complicated. You don't need to. You can just buy the foot, $49.95, and it's done. And look, it's even. Isn't that fabulous? Oh, we need one of those. Oh, need one of those. Which quilting foot? Oh, the clear view. This one was incredibly popular. Most popular of the hour, and here's for why. Because you get your 1/4 of an inch guide that looks like a little rudder that just means that your fabric just can't go through the other side of it. So it just keeps you nice and straight, in line. But then it's also got another one. You can see in there you've got 2 black attachments. Just change them underneath there. And then that will give you that stitching in the ditch guide. So you've got 2, it's like 2 feet in 1 with this one for $19.95. So RZJE38. Cool. Now, next up is the Evenfeed, basically a walking foot. It's just another name for a walking foot. And that's the fabulous thing, isn't it? Because we're demystifying. This is where I used to just stand in a haberdasheries going, Evenfeed foot, but no, I don't want that because I wanted a walking foot. It is a walking foot. And it's also, can you see that metal bit there? So you've got the guide on there as well so that you can evenly space. So you only need to mark 1 line, stitch along 1 line, and then you can add in that guide and do evenly spaced lines across your quilt. Perfect. Lucy's favourite, $49.95. TNJE62. Now, the next one, if you already have a 1/4 of an inch foot with that guide down the side, but you don't have a stitch in the ditch guide, there you go, this is the one you need. So this was the second most popular one of the hour, $18.95. And you see there that it's got that central sort of ruddery bit, and that goes along where your stitches are, so you are stitching directly over the top of them. For $18.95. Take the guesswork out, make it look more professional, get the tools for the job. Excellent. Excellent. Now, grab your toolboxes as well. They're great value for money. Really lovely value for money for under £30. This is the Elvis. Can we rename it the Elvis one? Yeah. There you go. For $29.95. Fabulous value and all those goodies. If you're gifting to someone, whew, happy days. Yeah. The Mexican one, though, is actually the most popular one. There you go. It's got, both have got really, really lovely patterns on, though. So it's just up to you. Up to you. Whichever you like. $29.95 for the Mexican twist. Nice. Now, we spoke about the circular sewing foot thing. Very descriptive this morning. Yeah, circular sewing foot thing. Yeah, I'm on fire this morning. You could well be in need then of some iron-on interfacing or some stitch and tear. It's entirely up to you. But you will need to interface one way or the other the fabric that you're using just to give it that extra bit of body because you're basically embroidering. So if you want your stitch and tear, so you would literally stitch on your motif and then just rip it off afterwards. So $2.95. Full instructions on the back. 90 centimetres by 36 centimetres. There it is. Do your design, put it away. You're done. But then if you want your iron-on interfacing, then there's that one to choose from. And again, $2.95, same as your P&P, $2.95. So what I would say is don't necessarily put that in the basket if that's all you're buying today. Make the most of your P&P, pop another couple of things in, because otherwise it's the same as your P&P, and that's, you know, I want you to get best value for money. So $2.95. If you've got a couple of other things, just pop it in. Pop it in. It's an essential. You're going to use it. Now, most popular fabric of the hour. Confetti small flower. What, by the ½ metre or as a bundle? As a bundle. Nice. I really think this is beautiful as an alternative children's quilt. Let me have a little play with these. Now, these are all pre-cut. So the way it works here, if we've bundled something, then they are all already pre-cut to 1/2 metre. So if you buy multiples, then you'll get 2 pre-cut 1/2 metres. If you want them in a continuous length, maybe you want them for the backing of a quilt or a dress or something like that, then buy them by the 1/2 metre as we've shown you there. So this one is bundled 1/2 metres. Let me move those over there. But what I just want to do is lay this down there and pop that over, because I just want you to see how well those colours are matched. We know that on your monitor at home, on your screen at home, sometimes it's really difficult to match colours. So we've done it for you so that they work, okay? So we've got, in fact, let me move this over here so that I can actually see it. This is your small flower. Then we've got the spot-on sunshine. So let's pop the spot-on sunshine down there. Lovely, cheery, happy look. Yeah, nice and cheery. If you love yellow, that's the one. Now, if you want, there, that is your aqua. You see, that's my shade. I love that. But why not two-tone it? Yeah. That looks lovely. Or across there like that. Nice. So you're picking up that darker tone there, and that is turquoise. So if you're looking for more of that, that's turquoise. And then we've also got for you your baby pink in there. So that is how that is all shaping up for you. All of those. It's a beautiful bundle, isn't it? That's why this is the most popular. I can really understand that. Gorgeous. So £22.49. UZGC77. Remember to check out your baskets. Yeah. Now, the most popular fabric. Oh, is the mini triangles. What, by itself? Ooh, controversial. I'll get that for you in just one moment. I'm going to leave that on there because I think that looks quite nice. Right. Mini triangles by itself is the most popular by the 1/2 metre. Who knew? £6.50. There it is. Yeah. So it's picking up all those colours that we've seen in the bundles. So if you want a metre, pop 2 in your quantity, and off you go. £6.50. KD80 50. KD80. Now, next one out of the bundle. Oh, this is in a bundle. So this is in the bundle. Let's have a look at the big bundle. Yeah, let's have a little play. You know, I like to have a little play with them, like properly, because you're getting in this 2 Dashwood 1/2 metres. There, like that. So again, colours are always going to go because they're part of the same range. So you could have one as a contrast, but then you can really zhuzh it up. Look at this coming in. Woohoo! So you're starting to bring in a different element with that green. And actually that green is in there, is in that green tree there. That's where we've picked that out. It's and it's the stems of the trees, the trunks, as they're otherwise known. But there, look, if I show you that one there, that's where it's, yeah, that's your green there. But what I love is that we've also given you the linear. Now, with a linear, it's a mixer. Okay, so if you haven't got exactly the same colour, it doesn't matter because you've got effectively 3 colours. You've got the light colour underneath, the darker colour, which you can pick up through there, and then the effect that it gives you all together, which is a 3rd colour, effectively. But then you've got to have that pearl blue, which almost looks like an icy blue. Yeah, it's pretty, isn't it? It's a very cool colour. So it brings in that that feeling of it being mountainy and icy. So there are your colours. What a lovely bundle. £23.99. So however you want to use those, they all work. An absolute treat. So grab your bundles, make the most of that, $23.99. We know that it's difficult to match your colours on the screen. We know that. That's why we do these bundles, and that's why they're always popular. And also because sometimes, you know, we don't trust ourselves to actually put colours together. So that's really tricky for some people. So we've done that. We've done that bit for you. Don't worry, we'll do it. Colours the what, Producer Paul? Colours the hardest memory to match. Forget colours. Oh yes, so Producer Paul says he worked in jewellery. Yep. So to match gemstone colours, you can't do it by memory. You have to actually have the physical thing. And then you have a chart. So you can't just walk away. You have to take it with you. Fact, he said. So colour's the hardest memory. Actually, that's so true because smells can be very evocative, can't they? Like we all know that school canteen smell takes you right back to being a kid. School canteens haven't changed smell, have they? They still smell exactly the same. Mountain range. This one. It's got my favourite fabrics in it. Okay. So your mountain range there. And what we've got here is really rather lovely because these are your two Dashwood ones out of the altitude range. Aren't these special? I love these together. For me, that's it. Boom. Beautiful. Really gorgeous. So this mountain range one here has got, I've put that round the wrong way, haven't I? That's there for you at home to see. There you go, there's your mountain there. And so this kind of ochre gold colour is the outline for each of those. Don't know if you can see that. So we haven't given you that exact colour, we've given you two variations of, which is fab. And then we've given you, look, that nice cool shade there. So you have got your altitude mountains, then you've got your teal outline, then you've got your bright yellow, which I would always question as being bright yellow, but never mind. And then you've got your sherbet, and then you've got your glacier grey. That's in your bundle. Doesn't it work a treat? I'm just going to show you. Look at this. Look at this with the green, because it always looks different, doesn't it, when you just pull out one colour? Yeah, look at that. It does give it a completely different feel. So if you wanted, it's that, it's almost like that springtime new shoots coming up, isn't it? It's that kind of colour. But then, a bit like this morning driving in, bit more misty. It's changed the whole feel, hasn't it? And then the last one is that yellow. Whee! Sunshine over the mountains. And suddenly it's happy. $22.49. I just love what colour does. It just makes me happy. Now, if you want the mountains separately, then you absolutely can. So whilst I'm folding them up, let's have a look at this one here. This is your teal outline. I just think that's going to work in so many ways. Because you can have it, yes, you can have it as a mountain thing. You can just have it as a pattern. I just love the two colours that it works with. It's just simple and yet totally effective. Really love it. £6.50 per half a metre. When you buy our fabric, buy the half metre. This is how it comes. In a lovely box, like that. All wrapped up in tissue paper. Now, this is, it's always beautifully packaged when it gets to you. And actually a lovely way to store it. So, for example, they'll all be beautifully wrapped, and then the little sticker on, the little sewing cord sticker, so that it's like a little gift when it comes to you, whether you're gifting for yourself, whether you're sending to somebody else, or whether you just keep the boxes. I write on there what fabric's in there, and then you can just stack them up. Or just a little, or just put a little, if you've got like a little spare bit of the fabric, just cut it on there. Just saying, just saying. Now then, are we still looking at this one? Yeah, why not? This is going to be one of those fabrics that when it goes into the we can't get it anymore, miss it, miss out, I'm going to cry about because it just is lovely. So get it while you can, because a lot of these things, look at that. So, on today's show, we've only got 7 meters on the show of it left. So it might end up going and miss it, miss out if that doesn't go. Because don't forget, it is in the bundle, so you've got 2 chances to get it in the bundle and then by itself. Right, okay, next up. Oh, the mountains. Let's go for the mountains. Yeah. This was my first introduction to this range. No pun intended. Here we go. So we haven't had this in stock for all that long. This, do you know what, you could get away with this being a little bit sort of camouflagey. So if you've got a man in your life that likes a bit of camo, then it's, I think that would be very acceptable. £6.50 there for that, for half a metre. This is a metre, so if you want a metre, put 2 in the quantity box, and off you go. Yeah. But do you know what else I would put with this? Because you might want it for mountains. Now, you see, my husband loves to ski. I can't ski. Just can't ski. But, so actually that would be a perfect one. It would be a perfect fabric for him. But maybe I want to use that, but actually I want to make it a little bit more girly. Then small flower confetti. Yes. Because you've got the same colours coming through. Look. It works. So maybe this is why we bring these fabrics to you by the half metre, so that you can pick and choose. So you might want to do that. So there you go. That's your confetti small flower there. But what happens if, because you know we were talking earlier, we went light, mid-colour. Whoa, what about throwing that into the mix? So this is your outline. Just putting it there so that you can see it's picking up that colour, which is the outline for your mountains, and then that's your outline fabric in yellow. Let's waft that. It's one of the most popular ones, but it's just a really handy one. Actually, I think we've started putting a lot more ochre in our bundles, and that's been incredibly popular too. So I'm not surprised that this is going to be a popular one. But it's going to be a lovely blender to go through. So £6.50. There we go. So £6.50 there for that. But, woo! Well, it was almost like a magician sliding things out. Right, let me fold that back up because I also want to show you what else it goes with. Because you might not have thought. You might not have realised. Right. I'm going for the birds. Because, yeah, the birds. Don't forget the birds. You'd forgotten about the birds, hadn't you? Love the birds. And this has always been a popular one by itself. The bird is the word, absolutely. Because, look, again, because it's part of the same range, you can do it. So that colour there is picked out in that one there. Now, it might be that you've bought one of the other bundles and you want to add the birds in. The birds aren't bundled in any other range. So you have to get that by itself, which isn't a hardship, is it? £6.50 per half a metre. Do you want it? Yeah, see how it moves? Because, do you know what, Producer Paul? I'd quite like this as a shirt. Yeah. That'll be lovely. Yeah. I think because one of my favourite dresses that I have, and it's very rare to see me in a dress, but is in a little bit of a similar bird type fabric. So I think I'm already predisposed to think of this for dressmaking. £6.50 though for your Altitude Blue Birds fabric. Yeah. Do you want to have a look at all the single fabrics? Because we've had a look at the bundles, and the bundles you can buy with absolute confidence, knowing that those colours go, because we've done all the hard work for you. So 1p&p, no matter how much you're buying, it's only ever, and I love that we do this, it's only ever £2.95 per day. I think that's cracking. So if you buy everything on the show today, a couple of sewing machines, you could buy the whole warehouse. And we would only charge you $2.95. We won't ship you the warehouse. Right, so we've looked at that and we've looked at that. Shall we just recap my favourite? Which one? Yeah, very quickly recap that, then we can move on to all the other ones. So this is your mountain outline in teal. Just as you know, we've looked at the one in yellow. So this is the one in teal, so that's $6.50. So don't forget that one. Also by the ½ metre are the trees. There we go. This is kind of your daytime trees. This reminds me of Ski Sunday. Did anybody else have to watch Ski Sunday? My dad, who's never skied in his life, loved Ski Sunday. And that was cue for like crumpets and lots of butter and cheese. £6.50 for that. Yeah. And see, doesn't that go beautifully with all of those? Yeah. But if you want sort of nighttime skiing, producer Paul likes the darker ones. He's tending to his dark side today. There it is. £6.50 for your Dashwood Studio Altitude Navy Trees. Yeah. It's lovely actually because these then really stand out, don't they? And that goes beautifully with the blue birds. We've seen there we go. So that's that range there. So basically, I mean, you can see, can't you? Any of those that you're buying today, mix and match them however you like, and they're going to work because that's what you get when you go for anything out of a range. There you go. Take a look at that. You see, it just gives you an idea, doesn't it, of how that all works. Similarly, with the fabrics from the confetti range. I just want to show you the three together that we've got because quilting we learn. You know, we learn on the shows. I've learned so much on the shows. Have a dark, have a mid, and have a light. But also have a big print, a little print, and a mid-sized print. And here you've got the lot, haven't you? So you've got your dark, you've got your big, and then you've got your smaller print. So there. Do you think they look like birds now up on that side? Sort of. In Producer Paul's head, they look like birds now. Just in his head. So, no, we can't see that one. There we go. That's that one. Let's have a... We can't see it. Let's move on. Should we go for the grey? Let's have a look at the grey. I do like this. I'm a sucker for pinks and teals on charcoal. Yeah. I could imagine that as a wash bag, actually, let alone anything else. Odor coat it, yeah. I think we're out of stock of that at the moment, Producer Paul. Now, the last one. This has been in a few quilty type bundles and been incredibly popular. If you've not seen it, we had a bundle with it in yesterday, but it's available today by itself. So yesterday, if you got it as part of the bundle, maybe you want to, you know, maybe you got an extra quilt as you go and you need more of this one. It is available by the ½ metre. But I think what I like about it is that you can fussy cut. So if you are doing anything like that, you could take that, that up, or however you want. It's fab, isn't it? So you've got all of that, and that's £6.50 per ½ metre. Most popular bundle first. Go on, Producer Paul, tell me. Small confetti. This one. There we go. That's your small confetti. I'm not surprised. I love this one. You've got in there your sunshine spot on. You've got your aqua spot on. You've got your baby pink. And you've also got your turquoise. All going beautifully with that. Beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. Yep. Gorgeous. Pop it in there. Lovely. $22.49. Now you're getting a whopping 2½ metres of fabric for that. It's pretty good going, isn't it? Next most popular is the ecru trees. Nice. Good choice. Good choice. There it is. So within that, you're getting 2 lots of Dashwood. So you're getting your triangles. You're also getting your trees. And you're also getting here, this one here is your pearl blue. I always stumble on that because I think it looks like a grey, but it's not. It's your pearl blue. And then you've got your sulphur linear there. And then you've got your citrus solid there. Yeah. It's kind of, depending on which colours you go for, if you're sticking with that, with the pearl blue, it's quite cool. But then you've got sort of spring tones if you bring in the greens. Fab. Now, my mountains next, as they're now being called. Are we renaming that? Tasha's Mountains. Yee! I love this. Love this. This is, yeah, I think this is my favourite bundle because it's got my two favourites. My two faves. But, you see, look. Again, you've got... So, if you want your nice sunrise, go with your yellow. If you want a hint of springtime, go with that. If you want sort of a misty, atmospheric time, then go with that. But you're getting all of it. You're getting 2.5 metres of fabric here with your altitude mountains. I love this bundle. Which is, normally, I love a bit of pink. But no, today, nice. Very nice. Yes. Ooh, a couple more bundles to look at. Oh, the other tree. Yes, let's take a look at the other tree. Now, the other tree one, so that you've got your ecru one, and then you've got the dark one. And what I really love is that they've put a pink in here. Yes. Oh, yes. Look at these colours with this. Look at that, beautiful. I think that's orchid. Deep orchid, yes. So they're your navy trees there. You've got deep orchid there, ochre there, vintage blue there, and ecru there. Oh, that might be my second favourite one. Oh, decisions. Okay, next up, let's go with the grey, the charcoal confetti range. Because again, this is a super happy fabric. Yeah, look at these. So you've got two tones of grey because you've got the grey in the background. Then we've given you another grey in there. Like that. Nice. And then we've gone, hang on a minute. Look, you need that bright colour coming through there. Actually, just the grey and that together. The grey and the yellow together work really nicely. But hey, look. Let's give you a bit of candy floss. And then you're spot on. What a lovely mix of colours. Again, this is happiness in a bundle. Everybody loves happiness in a bundle. Now, the last one. Yeah, you see, I do enjoy the confetti range an awful lot. They're my kind of colours. The pinks and the teals and the greys. Love it. What I really enjoy with this particular bundle is that, look, you've got like the crosshatch pattern on here. We're getting in so you can see it. So you've got the crosshatch through all of these all these leaves. And so when we've given you the linear in zinc, you see, look, it just picks up that kind of crosshatch effect. Gone, yeah, we'll echo that. And then with your baby pink there, oh no, that's cheeky spot on pink there. It's really, look at that, really well matched there. A slightly deeper shade of pink there. And then your baby blue. Gorgeous. Hooray. Oh, Ruffles, here they are. I got told off for saying that she looked sad. Here we go. This is your happy colours. There we go. Happy colours. The colours are indeed very, very happy. $33.95. You are getting... Now, how many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. 10 of them. They're all 50 weight. And you're getting 200 metres. Do you want to see them? Beautiful colours. I think this is... I can't decide if that one or the Going Home to Roost are my favourite colours. I do like the happy colours, but the Going Home to Roost ones, they're a bit more shabby chic, aren't they? Really beautiful. So $33.95, lovely set of colours. Now, if you want two different weights, If you want 50 weight and 80 weight, then this is the bundle to go for. Again, gorgeous colours. They always spoil us with colour, don't they, with Aurifil? But I'm told that once you go, and also keep the wooden spools afterwards, they look lovely. Once you go Aurifil, you don't go back. All of our designers absolutely love Aurifil. $33.95. So these are your 80 weight, and they're your 50 weight. There you go. Now, come with me over here because we just need to recap these feet. First time ever on Sewing Quarter, actually, that we've had a foot show. So Lucy gave us a little masterclass in feet. And she started off with a foot I'd never even heard of, which is your ruffler foot. And that's this. Now, once you get over the fact that it looks like some kind of torture device, it's not. What happens is, that's where, if you've got a click-on foot, that's where you just clip it on there. Nice and easy there. But then this bit here goes back and forwards and pushes your fabric. You can see it just goes into like a little V shape there. That pushes the fabric in there, so gathers the fabric so that it pleats. Isn't that fab? So and then, oh, you know, Lucy was saying that there's that adjustment, so that if you want to then go to just a straight line, you can. You just lift that up and move it across. And if you want to adjust the width of your pleat, and this was what we couldn't show you on the camera, by just twisting that, you then go up and down that gauge there. So you just adjust that, and that's got your measurements up there. Okay, so you just adjust that. Isn't that a brilliant piece of kit? And so you can go from your tiddly tiny pleats. Let's be honest, I wouldn't attempt that any other way. No way. No way, Jose. Tiddly tiny pleat, ruffles, all the way up to actual pleats. Perfect for your dressmaking. $49.95. Take all the effort out of it. And then you've got your mid-size ones. But that's just by... There you go. $49.95. First time we've ever brought that to air. Over half of the stock of that has gone. Never seen that before. Brilliant. Never also seen the circle foot before. Didn't know that you could get a foot. I knew that on some really expensive machines, you had sort of a circle thing that you could have, but I've never seen it in this form before. Watch back the show if you haven't seen it, but just be aware that over half of the stock of this is already gone. It's $49.95. But if you, like me, love to sew a circle, but actually now want to do it really well, this is the way forward. $49.95. It's just taking that step, isn't it, towards professionalism. Just making that circle professional rather than kind of almost okay if we squint a bit and don't look at that bit, and I'll just whack a flower on there so that nobody sees that I wobbled. Don't need to. Don't need to. Now, just quickly. Oh, this is it working. Can we show? Can we? Hey, look at this. Now, this is your walking foot with the circle cutter on it. Oh, yeah. Oh, not the circle cutter. Sorry, the circle foot that we've just shown you. So it's bamboo. We never managed to do that before. Very clever. But yeah, so Lucy found, that was the other thing. Lucy found that this worked best with a walking foot, or as we've called it, the Evenfeed foot with quilting guide. So if you've got a walking foot, and if you don't, then grab yourself this. This is the same. This is that moment in the haberdashery where I go, but I wanted a walking foot. Well, it's the same. Evenfeed foot with quilting guide, exactly the same. If you don't have one, then as we showed you, great quality one here, $49.95. And it's even got, can you see that's your quilting guide there? Pop it into that hole there. Have I got the right? Yeah. And then you can have your quilts as far away as you like. Nice. Let's also show you. Oh, now you see this one is so clever. So this one is kind of two different ones in one. It's your Clearview quilting foot and guide set. You can use it by itself, or you've got, if I just give the packet a little shake, can you see there, those two black bits? One will allow you to quilt in the ditch, so stitch in the ditch. The other gives you 1/4 of an inch guide, so your fabric just runs along there and you get the perfect 1/4 of an inch every time. So that's £19.95 for that. Now, the ribbon foot, that's quite exciting. Where's that? Oh, ribbon and sequin foot. So this just allows your sequins to flow through and you can then stitch over the top. So a special foot, if you're ever doing ribbons or sequins, grab this one, £19.95. There you go, that's there. Now the one that we only just managed to touch on before we came off air earlier, at the end of it, we just ran out of time, was this one, which is your border foot. So can you see all the different guides on there? So it's like an extension of your guide for £26.95, but then look what it does there. So it's really showing you, there's your border. Might you see, because it might not be a straight line, but you've got that then to just guide you through and make sure that if you're doing decorative stitches or anything like that, or any kind of border, that it's going to be evenly set apart. So lots of different feet to choose from. Go back and watch the show. You can always watch it back on YouTube if you've bought one and you want to try, or you're just not sure, well, what are all these feet? Didn't even know there were so many feet. Stitch in the ditch foot is the next one to look like. So if you don't have a stitch in the ditch foot, but you've got 1/4 of an inch foot, then this one's the one to go for. I think it's £18.95. DMJE05. Lucy's back after the break, so any questions, message in. I'm sure she will be very, very happy to answer all of those. So do join us. We're going for a very quick break, and then we'll be back, and it's all about the quilting on our return. So stay tuned, and we'll see you in just a couple of moments.
Follow us on Twitter for more inspiration, top tips, news, and share your own creations with us. Join us on Thursday the 19th of October for a spooktacular Facebook Live. Natasha McCarty has plenty of Halloween tricks and treats up her sleeve, exclusively for Facebook Live viewers. To find out what spectral surprises she has in store, head to our Facebook page at 12:30 p.m. on Thursday the 19th of October. Don't miss out, it'll be spooktacular.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love.
It's iconic, it's very British, and it's coming to Sewing Quarter this autumn. For the first time in several years, Liberty is launching a new quilting weight fabric range, and you can get your hands on it here. The English Garden collection combines intricate florals with a pastel colour palette inspired by wild flowers. There are 23 prints to choose from, each one lovingly designed in Liberty's signature style. Whether incorporated into patchwork or used in their entirety, these 19th century inspired fabrics will turn any good quilting project into a little Liberty masterpiece. Our quilters will be demonstrating some project ideas to help you make the most of this fabulous new range. So watch this space to hear more about the Liberty English Garden collection, coming soon to Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78. Join us on Facebook. Simply search for the Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
Enter the magical world of Tilda with Jo Carter and John Scott as they take us to a sparkling Scandi wonderland. Jo will show us how to make a delightful Tilda Santa and a stocking kit. With her guidance, this festive project is a piece of Christmas cake, meaning all you have to do is bag your kit before they're gone. And in the spirit of giving, we're bringing a viewer's favourite back to the show, the Tilda Cottage collection. John Scott will be on hand to talk us through these magical prints, which will add that little touch of Tilda charm to any fabric stash. So tune in on Sunday the 22nd of October at 9 a.m. for Jo's Tilda Christmas, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
When you spend £10 on your first purchase, you will receive this free sewing kit from the Sewing Quarter worth £14.99.
Hello, 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 welcome back. Now, ooh, oodles of fabric going on here. For a simple reason, it's enough to make a quilt. So what you need is a lot of fabric, obviously. Now, the one that we've been looking at all day behind where we've been stood features a lovely bit of Anna Maria Horner. Now, you've got your social climber in here in that beautiful yellow. Look, hang on, hang on, hang on. We've got to have a look at this in all its glory. What a beautiful fabric this is. Now, in this hour, we've got something a little bit different. So for 2 of the bundles, grab the book, or maybe you've got a quilt in mind that you want to do. But if you want to do what we're doing today, some of the bundles come with instructions. We'll show you when we get there. So for this one, you just get the fabric and thread. 6.5 meters of fabric though. Look at that. So if you want to make exactly the one that we've got behind Lucy, then you'll need the book for the instructions, but some of them will come with instructions. I'll show you as we go along. So within this bundle as well, you get all of these gorgeous fabrics. Look at all of those. Whoa! And your thread. There we go. Now, next one. Which one do you want to go for? Which is, where am I looking? Which one? This one? Spots? No, hang on. Which one do we want to look at? Oh, the pastels. This one. This one here. Again, for this one, you will need the book, and I'll show you the book in a minute. But the book is baby quilts, so this is a lovely palette for your baby quilts. Again, another 6.5 meters here. Are we playing with these colours today, Lucy? Is it this one? No, no, it's the other one. Okay. But this one is just, well, it's those perfect colours, isn't it? Now, shall I show you the book, or do you want to see the other ones with instructions? Let's show you the book, just to try and make things clear. So the 2 bundles I've just shown you, if you want to make exactly the quilt that we're making today, you'll need the instructions out of the book. There you go. But the book is really lovely. Look at that, $5.95. We've made some of these quilts, actually. We'll show you some of these. So not only are you getting instructions for the one we're going to do, but you're also getting instructions for all of these other quilts as well. So that's $5.95 for that. Hurrah! It's great value, isn't it? Great value. Now, ooh, this one here has got, look at this. This is called Under the Sea. So 6 meters plus instructions for this, for $47.49. I'm just loving those colours. Isn't that fab? Now, the next one along has got a few, it's kind of your primary bundle, isn't it? It's got all those primary colours in, but a little bit of difference in there because you've got your spots as well. So if you want that, that's going to really show up your pattern, isn't it? So that's $47.49 for your primary colours. And again, instructions coming with that. Yeah. Now, oh, look at this. This is all your linears. So this is Texture Ahoy here. Quite an autumnal colour palette there. So if, oh, it is called autumnal. There we go. That's probably why. Autumnal. See, great minds. They all think alike. £60.99. But you are getting, again, another whopping 6 meters of fabric there. And then the one that we're going to work with today is really rather lovely. Green and pink, always a winner, but then throw in some grey and a little hint of blue, and off you go. We're going to work with this one today and show you how this one's shaping up when it's all put together. $43.49. So if you want a whopping great big bundle of fabric, 6 meters there, for $43.49 and instructions, then we are good to go. Now, when I say instructions, this is what you're getting. Hello, Lucy Brennan, by the way. I can't stand there and just ignore you. Be rude. Thanks. Very rude. Here are your instructions. So you don't get a whole book, but you do just get instructions as to how to basically do that block. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Yes, exactly.
Lots of ways to do this block. This is just one way.
Yeah, and so that's a finished 12-inch block.
Okay.
So then you can repeat that to make as many
Could be a cushion.
as you like.
Could just be a cushion.
Could just be a cushion.
It's entirely up to you.
Put borders on it.
So that's it. Nice. Is that called a card trick some places?
Yes. Yeah, that's a card trick block.
Card trick block. Mm-hmm. I'm learning.
So that's quite a traditional one, again.
Okay.
And I think visually the impact of it is beautiful.
Talking of visual impacts, look at the difference in having different colourways.
Completely different.
Exactly the same block, but look how different that is. It's Limbo Lucy!
Can't do it. My back won't take it anymore.
That's fine. I like the anymore.
Yeah,
I like that there clearly has
just
been Limbo
done.
Lucy in the past.
Yeah.
We're not going to venture any further there.
One time in my life, but no longer.
Interesting. How do we start?
Yeah, so this one is essentially just made up of triangles.
Okay.
So the instructions come with a template sheet, so you've got the 2 different size triangles on there. The most important thing with this one is getting the layout right. Obviously, because you don't want to, if you get them in the wrong position, then it
throws the whole thing.
Yeah,
there's no trick anymore.
There's no trick. So using the 4 different colours, you could use 2 colours there and 1 colour in both those places and 1 colour in both those places if you wanted to. That would give it a different look again. So there are ways that you can play about with it to make it look different. But essentially it's just this smaller triangle and the larger triangle. So you're just piecing those together. And within this block, there are 3 different blocks that make up the block, 3 different patches.
Okay, I'm with you.
So you've got the central one with your 4 smaller triangles, and then you have one made up of 2 smaller triangles and a larger triangle, and then you have ones that are made up of the 2 larger triangles. So it's just basically those 3 blocks, but then you're creating them in the different colourways.
So you're creating a 9-patch block. I'm getting all the terminology, but there are 3 different types of block
to make your block.
The finished block. God,
yeah,
it gets a bit confusing, isn't it?
I mean, it's quite, once you've made one, you know, it makes sense and it's quite straightforward. But definitely the first time you're doing it, you want to lay out all your pieces to make sure you're happy with your arrangement. You can move the colours around because it does make a difference. So with this colour palette, I picked this one out. And, you know, if you put this one next to this one, it loses it ever so slightly. But then that might just be a different look that you want to go for.
Because they're of a similar shade. It would look more like an echo, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And what you could do, that's something else you could do, is use the same shade but in different tones. So,
nice.
Have that so you had like an ombre going around the block.
Which you'd have if you bought the autumnal one. That's what that one would give you, isn't it?
Just using those different shades, and you could use the green one as the background, maybe.
And then that would look like your autumnal leaves just lying on the grass.
Yes, very pretty.
I'm getting a whole scene going on here.
See?
Should tell a story.
So yes, that's a nice thing for it to be able to do. So
it's not like a bedtime story, don't worry. It's
not a bedtime story.
Chapter and verse.
So my advice really is to lay out your block, look at the look at the example that's printed on there, and lay out your pieces as it is shown on the instructions, because it just will make more sense if you can do it that way.
Now, if you're working from the book, again, there are instructions as to how to make this in the book, but you get lots of different projects as well. So it depends on which bundle you're going for, as to which you're getting or which you need to get. And there's your 2 different triangles. Hey, we had template plastic back the other day.
Yes, it's fantastic. I was teaching class actually on Sunday, and some of the ladies there used the template plastic and found that really helped them.
Is that out of stock now, Producer Paul? Well, you'll have a look.
I hope it's not now.
Yeah.
Because it is very useful, and particularly where you're, repeating a shape over and over again, it's nice to be able to have the template there. So if you lay it out, it becomes clear, how you're making those 3 different types of blocks.
Again, this is one that I would look at and not have a clue.
But it's all straight piecing, it's all just straight lines. It's just using the triangles. And you can, if you want to make up the triangles, do a 4-in-1 to make if you're repeating the block lots of times. But if you're making one block, you want to just use the templates and lay them out, because you're not repeating. Yeah. So, you know, you only need one of this, and so on.
Because this could just be a cushion cover, and then you're done.
Yes.
And then you might want to then use the rest of your fabric to make different style quilts, however you like.
Yes.
Oh, hello.
Absolutely. Well, I'm just going to show you what it looks like if you change the pieces. No. But if you wanted to go for a different look and you want to change the pieces. So the yellow and yellow together. Well, it still looks quite nice. I like it like that. Tim's shaking his head.
But they do not the one for, no, he prefers it the other way.
Yeah, they blend. You know, they blend together a little bit more, and that stands out a little bit more.
You can compare and contrast.
Yeah, and you will get you do get a different look to it. That one, that one almost vanishes there because it's so pale.
Award-winning director Mike, that one is smaller because that one's sewn together. Oh my word! How long
have you learned nothing, Mike?
I've only been here since January. It's fine.
But it's fine. It is a good point to raise, because it does look like these won't fit together. Until you sew these together, they won't fit to your larger triangle.
Obviously, if you are directing the show and paying attention, then you would know over the months.
That's what happens.
That's how it's going to go together.
So you can break it down then into the different 9 patches. So, it's really up to you how you sew them together. You could do a patch at a time, and sew each of those in order, or you could do all the ones that are the same, which tends to be my preference, because if I'm doing this, I just can repeat it and do it the 4 times, and then I can sew these bits together. So it's just smaller triangles together, and then adding your larger triangle.
Lucy says it's even bigger now.
It is even bigger. Well done, I spaced
it out.
There's
no flies on award-winning director Mike today. Oh, no. This is one where I would have to lay this out on the floor.
Yes.
Shut the door. Because the minute that the dog comes in, or the cats come in,
it's all gone everywhere.
Child comes in, or take a photo of it so you know that you've got everything
taking a photo is a great idea. And also, because if you've played around with the colours and the layout and you've got it exactly how you want it, you don't want to then forget which way you'd
Actually, maybe take a photo of it with the colours in different places to see which one you like best.
Yes,
that's the other way, isn't it? Because then you don't have to cut it all out before you know which way you want to do it.
Definitely.
Now, you get 6 metres. That's a big quilt, isn't it? 6 metres?
Yeah, you can get quite a lot of blocks from that.
Let's hope this is
Not
a block
sure exactly how many,
because you're going to be making a lot. But it doesn't all have to go in one quilt, does it?
No, it doesn't have to.
Or it might be that you're buying the book and then you've got lots of options. We'll show you the book in a minute. How many of the book in stock? There's only 8 left of the book. You've gone crazy for the book. Okay,
it is
we'll get to the book in a minute.
And we should show the quilts as well.
Yes.
In the book.
Now, this is the Rose Meadow interlocking squares that we've got for you at the moment, that we're showing you. 6 metres of fabric and instructions.
So I think the reason I chose these colours, what I really like about it, is it would be a lovely one for a baby, with those soft colours.
Yes.
But it's got quite a modern look to it as well.
Yes.
So I think, if you live in some sort of trendy apartment or something, these colours would blend quite beautifully. So that's why I went for that one. But it's got a nice softness to it. And I think the grey, the linear helps just lift those solid colours out as well.
It would go beautifully with this, the confetti range that we had.
Yes.
The Dashwood confetti range. So actually, if you were doing it for maybe a little girl and you wanted to put some florals through, I'm just thinking about the modern.
Absolutely.
Then the Dashwood confetti that we had by the half metre last hour.
Because those colours are in there, aren't they?
Yeah. But you do get 6 metres of fabric, so you don't actually have to add anything else in.
No.
It's just, I just like more.
Yeah, I like mixing things as well. It's fun. And mixing solids and prints.
Yeah, but you get the texture because you've got that linear in there.
I really like that.
How do we start then?
So I'm going to start sewing, and I will chain piece this. And so I will do all of the just straightforward half square triangles first of all. It makes the most sense to my brain.
Do you know what I would have to do?
To do it that way.
I do love a bit of chain piecing.
Yes.
But on this, especially for the first one, I just have to do a piece at a time and then put it back.
Yes.
And make sure that I've done it the right way.
Yeah, well, once I've chain pieced and pressed them, then I put them back into place. I'm always putting it back so I can see, you know, where I'm up to.
Otherwise, for me, there would be, I'm not going to lie, room for error.
Yeah, and I mean with I'm doing the easiest block first because the half square triangles, you can turn them round and flip them either way, so there's no right or wrong way. But when you come to do this one and this one, there's a right and a wrong.
There is, isn't there? Yeah, yes. this line through
That's
here.
where it can start to go pear-shaped.
Ooh, exciting. So you're getting your linear texture in cream. You're getting your ochre. You're getting your sherbet. You're getting your vintage pink and your vintage blue. Nice. All in there. 6 meters of fabric there for $43.49. It's a whopper.
It is. So I've switched over to using my 1/4 inch foot.
With the guide on the edge.
With a guide on the edge, because that's my favourite. Now you can pin these pieces if you want to, but you'll be taking the pins out as you go, obviously. And also we're working with bias edges, so you want to be very careful not to push or pull the fabrics as you're
because they're all
sewing
cut
them. Yeah, because you don't want to stretch it out.
Now, if you're doing the ones with just the plain fabrics and there's no right or wrong side, is there? But obviously when you start mixing in the linear, just be aware that you do have a right or wrong side to the fabric.
Yes, and this one in particular, because it's quite pale, if you're sewing at night, you might want to just double check.
Get your daylight lamp out.
Get your daylight lamp out and just double check, because you can see the pattern through, you know, to the other side, because it is a darker ink on there, so you just need to be careful that you're... Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
So you could sew that the wrong way around.
That's why light is so important. So important. What I'm noticing, I don't know if it's just because we've just done it's
the feet.
The feet. The fact that has got a guide on. Yes. I have guide for envy.
You're going to have to get the clear one. And the clear one's nice because it's got those markings on as well.
Yeah.
So I'll just point out, when I'm chain piecing the triangles, because I don't want those points to get caught up in the foot, so I always lift the foot and just put the point of the triangle underneath the foot, so it's not going to... It's
not going to bird's nest and tangle and do that
exactly. So then I can just chain and go through those pieces without getting the ends caught up. But we are going to have to trim these blocks anyway, because of the dog ears. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
To get those out of the way. So I'm on my last one of this one.
Do I need to get the iron out?
Yes, please.
Are we all ready to iron?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Before I do that, this is so exciting. Something we've not seen. I'm not sure if I'm even allowed to use it. Am I cleared to use this? Just show it. Says producer.
Okay.
Producer Paul. Just show it, Tash. Don't actually use it. I was a modern pentathlete. I was. Yeah. Now this is your micro skit. Let's try that again. I was trying to give it a big build-up, and then I couldn't even say it. Your micro stitch tool. It's because there's a double stitch.
Yes.
What does it do? You're clear to use it.
Okay, I'm clear to use it. I don't have anything to use it on, but I'll just talk about it.
Okay.
So this is a tool for basting your quilts. So you have a little secure... Yes.
Hello,
it's very sharp.
Pointy bit.
So you need to be careful. This goes through all the layers of your quilt.
Right.
And then you press. I'm not going to do it.
I'm just going to come and stand this side.
And then you press that in, and it releases one of these very tiny little plastic tags. So it's similar to what attaches labels on your clothing.
Okay.
But it's a very small version of it. So that will hold... Micro, indeed. So that will hold those 3 layers together. And you just push it through, and you just base that in exactly the same way you would put a pin.
Right.
So if you're used to pin basing, you do it where you put a pin. So every sort of hand width away, and that will hold hold your quilt together. And then you do your quilting, and when you've finished, you just snip them.
Snip them out, like you would the labels in your clothes.
Yes.
Don't do it with your teeth. Oh, I hate it when you have to get them out with your teeth.
No, it's horrible.
It gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, it goes right through me.
Look how tiddly tiny those are. No pins, no glue, no spray basting, no having to, you know, wash your carpets because you didn't...
Yeah, don't do it on your carpet.
Don't do it on your... Oh, no, actually, that's a really good point to make. Do this on a hard surface because otherwise you're going to actually incorporate your carpet.
Yes, you don't want to attach your quilt to your carpet. That's not a good look.
It's another look.
Unless you want to hold a rug down. No, don't do it for that. No, don't. But you can, it's great for smaller projects because it's very quick and easy to do. And if anybody struggles with the pins, which I know people do, this is a great alternative to be able to just get it done quickly. You just want to make sure that when you're going through, that you've gone through all three layers.
Can we show it on one of these? Because we've got a couple of layers there. Could we just...
Yep.
I've never... Lucy, because I've not been cleared to use it. I've not used it before.
Okay. So I would have some wadding in between, you know, because you'd have your 3 layers. So you just go through.
Push it through. Oh, that's not scary.
No, it's not scary. And it's so tiny.
Can you see?
You can still see them though. And I know a lot of people like using these, so you just, that's it.
Yeah? Yeah, clever, very clever. You see, producer Paul goes, oh, now I see what you mean, like clothes tags.
Yes.
Can I have a go?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that scary. So through, do you want to see it that way? There. And then pull it out and it's done. Even I can use it. I love it when guests say that to me.
That's an endorsement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even I can do it.
Oh, it gets a bit...
Yeah. So you don't need to, you don't need to use a lot. Natasha's going, gone now. You space them out so you're not using so many.
Don't use as many as I am. Hey,
need that many.
Now, the nice thing is, now that's white, obviously, but you might want to use a contrasting colour so you can see to then take them out.
If you have a
We've got refills. Black ones, they would show up better on there, wouldn't they?
Yes.
That's so clever.
Yeah.
I think you get black and white, you get it, but these are your refills. So $4.95 for your micro refills. Oh, I'd be doing this on everything.
Yeah, so for anyone that's already got them,
then you need the refills.
Got the refills.
To be honest, it's quite satisfying. So you might just need to get some refills
as well, just to back up.
I'm just being honest because I'll be like...
Yeah, I mean, if you were doing a large quilt, obviously then you're going to need to use a lot of, more of them.
And you can just sew over.
Yes, and then you just snip.
Snip, snip, snip. Out they come.
That's it.
Out they come. There you go. Job done. Isn't that fab?
Yep.
Easy. Easy peasy.
So that's why you want to make sure you're going through all those 3 layers so that those little bits come out, easily when you cut it. You can't stop now.
It's fabulous. Oh, I love a gadget.
I'm going to press this.
I love a gadget. Happy days. Put the lid back on and off you go. I thought it was going to be like a staple gun. That's why I was getting worried.
There's no, it's very quiet.
Especially because you said that you had to do it onto a hard surface. But actually you can lift it up.
Yeah, you can lift it up, yeah. I mean, if you're doing a quilt, you just want to be making sure that you're going through those 3 layers.
Now, Elizabeth says, hi, Natasha and Lucy, you need to use a grid underneath to prevent damage to the needle or the surface.
Yeah, you can do that. So if you've got a carpet or if you've got, a nice wooden floor and you don't want to be poking it through, there are grids that are available. But that's why I like using it for small projects because you can just lift it up and
and you can just do it that way.
And
Rachel says, morning, ladies. Could you say hi to my daughter, Beth? She has come up to the West Midlands from Brighton to see her old mum. Well, hello, Beth.
Hello, Beth.
Lovely to have you watching the show today. Well, it's two of the areas I've lived in, Brighton.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I'm from Brighton originally.
I've lost one of these.
What have you done?
I don't know.
What have we done with it?
I'll have to find it somewhere.
I didn't stitch it onto anything, micro-stitch it anywhere.
No.
How have you lost it?
I don't know.
She's lost
Is it under the ironing board? No.
Who's eaten it?
I don't know.
Now that's a magic trick, isn't it? Live on air and it's just disappeared.
Vanished.
Seriously, where's it gone?
I've no idea.
What have you done with it? That's hilarious. Can we rewind the show to find it?
I'm not sure.
That's very clever. Well done.
Thanks. So I'm just going to trim this off just to get rid of those dog ears. And you can do that with a rotary cutter or you can do it with scissors.
Right.
That's fine. Because we've used the template, we know that that's to size. So your blocks are going to be 4.5 inches.
What have you done with it? Seriously?
I had it because I laid the block out, didn't I?
Yeah. Like we all saw that you had it.
I don't know, there's like a pixie or something.
Where did you
come and
last have
taken it away.
At the sewing machine. We might have to go and have a look at some fabric. You might have to cut some more.
I might have to.
But that's crazy.
The vanishing pieces.
I'm going to go look at some fabric.
Okay.
Stuff that hasn't disappeared yet. Now, the book, only a few of these left. Oh, do you know what else I wanted to show you? And that is some of the other quilts that we've made on the shows from this booklet. Have you found it, Lucy? It's crazy. Half the stock gone already, £5.95. It's a fab little book. We made that one. Quilting Techniques talks you through that. I don't think the child comes with it, I'll be honest. In fact, I know the child doesn't come with it. Oh, no, we made that one. Look at that. Beautiful. But it's all very easily laid out. It shows you very easily how to do it. Hey, if you've got the circly stitching tool thing, foot, you could sew that, couldn't you? Your Lincoln log cabin. What else have we got? Oh, we've made that, but in grey. All sorts. Now, in order to make the quilt out of this book, we've got 2 bundles. So in order to make it then, let's have a look. Oh, it's moved over. Here we go. This is your Anna Marie Horner one because it's got the social climber. Love that print. Love that. 6.5 metres of fabric and your thread in there. So look at those other gorgeous colours. That's the one that's behind us on the wall. £57.99, PPGC 70. That gives you that. Grab the... Do you know, I say grab the book. That's if you want to make exactly that quilt. Have you found it? Where was it? On the floor. Then if you want to... But it might be that you've got another quilt in mind and you just want the fabric. That's absolutely fine. So if you're just after fabric or you want to grab the book, then do so. Here we go. This is your other pastel bundle that we've got for you. Again, 6.5 metres of fabric in that, £49.99. It could just be that you just want a huge amount of fabric, in which case, look at that. And you get thread there as well. Nice. Fabulous. Now, the other bundles. So this bundle, this bundle, this bundle, this bundle comes with instructions. Like that. So let's do Under the Sea. Oh, I love this colourway. Really am enjoying this. So this is £47.49. It's just those gentle, cool blue tones. Beautiful. So 1 metre of Cameo in Linear, which is that one. 1 metre of your baby blue there. 1 metre of Heron Grey there, linear there. 2 metres of your antique white. And 1 metre of Blue Sea. So we're under the sea. Lucy's Blue Sea. £47.49. And your instructions. Now this is the one that Lucy's using, which is called Rose Meadow. Meadow. Can't even say it. Rose Meadow. It's one of those days. £43.49. IIGC 36. And we've seen how to play with those. Beautiful. And then, oh, this was the one. You know, we said you could do sort of an ombre affair with this one. Then let me just rearrange them into some sort of ombre-esque affair. So we said that you could do all those interlinking ones and then have the green background. That's what we meant. Like that. Just like that. That That would be really lovely, wouldn't it? £60 and 99 pence. And your instructions. And then the last one down here are your primaries. They never date, do they, primaries? They're always in fashion because they're your primary colours. There you go. Producer Paul says it's a bit like him. He doesn't date. Oh, that's sad. That's really sad. Oh, 47, 49. Oh, I can hear violins. I don't realise you meant like that, Producer Paul. I thought you meant as in you were always in style and always in fashion. No, he just doesn't date. He's single. Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to do a bit more chain piecing.
You find that hilarious.
It's hilarious. I'm going to do a bit more chain piecing. So I'm just sewing the smaller. So I've done all of those and trimmed them. Found my missing one under the trolley.
How did it get there?
I must have dropped it. Butterfingers. So I'm just piecing the smaller ones together. So I'm doing right sides together, and then I'm going to sew down here. But this is the part where, you know, if I take that and I'm having a chat with you, and we just go on, and I'll sew the wrong
and
piece,
I'll get the blame.
And then when I come to fold it out, it's wrong.
The wrong way.
So you want to make sure that you're sewing that seam together. So you either can just do it and be on your own and have shut the door and go straight.
It's like Producer Paul at home, isn't it?
Or you can do it, you know, and you might put a clip or a pin just on that side, and then you know that that's the one that you're sewing.
So
you
have
can do
a
that
signal and a sign of your own.
Yes, just so you know that's the one that
so
you're
consistency
sewing together.
is the key here.
Yeah.
That continuity. Like if you start doing it one way, keep up with that one way.
Because it's very, very easy at this point to sew the wrong side.
You know what I'd be doing? I'd be getting my micro stitch gun, pow, pow, pow,
just popping it
rather than pinning anything.
You could do that.
Yeah.
So, and then what you want to do, because another reason to do this is because sometimes I like to turn it over because I always want to sew from the straight edge.
Okay, right.
Not from the angled edge.
It stops it mushing.
It stops it from eating it up. So I always sew that.
Is that a Brennan top
edge.
tip there?
What? I said it, so we can call it that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
It's just at that, that just from experience, you know, if you start going on that edge, and sometimes you need to, depends on what you're doing. You might have something that has angles on both sides, and there isn't a straight edge, but just to make life easier for yourself.
Okay.
That's
do you? No, you always do a back stitch at the beginning and the end.
I do.
Is that just something that you? Oh, habit.
Yeah, it's habit. I was in a lot of quilting bees. So we would post blocks to each other, and if you know...
Hang on, what? A
quilting bee. So I had friends I've been in a couple of different ones. Yeah, it's a thing. So I'd have friends in different countries, or as in one that's just UK-based, and so we all live in different areas, but we all... you have a queen bee each month, and she sets a block that you want to make.
It's all about the bees for you, isn't it?
Yeah, you all make a block and send it to the queen bee that month, and then it's the next person's turn, and so on and so forth. So you end up with a quilt that has blocks from all of your friends in your quilting bee. So I've done a couple of those, but then if you're sending it, if you're sending it in the post, you're handling it, you're folding it up. You don't want those edges coming undone. So it's just become a sort of habit. And even when you're working on something, if you're piecing a quilt and it's not going to be done in a day, you're going to have to put those pieces, well, I don't have a sewing room, so I always have to pack things up and put them away or put them to the side. And every time you're, moving it, there's a risk of that seam coming undone. And I mean, there are things you can do, if you're using smaller stitches when you sew, then it's less likely that the seam's going to come undone, but you don't want that. You don't want to put in all that work and then having to do repairs before you've even started, And I have been working on quilts where I haven't backstitched at the beginning and the end, and then I'm already having to go back and repiece those sections. So,
wow. I'm just thinking that we need a sewing quarter bee.
That would be fun.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? Alison's emailed in a picture, Lucy. Look at this. Yay!
Oh, beautiful. And that's in primary colours. It looks gorgeous.
You see, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah,
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Thank you. I love seeing what people have done.
Alison, you clever thing.
beautiful.
That's fab, isn't it?
It
oh,
is
hang
fab.
on. Now, talking of ones that we've done, now these were out of the book. So while you do a bit of pressing, the book's almost sold out. But I just wanted to show you that we have shown these on the show before. Oh, the book has shown. Oh, okay, I'll put it away again then. Oh no, I will show you because they're lovely.
I think Victoria.
Just seems a shame, doesn't it? But this, yeah, if you've got the circular foot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Any excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be doing that. There'd be no stopping me. No stopping me. So there was one that we did. Oh, now if you're doing the, if you're buying the pastel one, do you want to see what the pastel one looks like, or a version of? Hey. Producer Paul, have we got the details for the pastel one? Please.
It's beautiful, and then you can see as well how it would look with borders, and you could put sashing in between the blocks if you wanted to. Although you do get a secondary pattern with the diamonds there when you put the blocks together. Do you want to grab the other one?
Because this is a mighty big one.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Look at that. Actually, it's different just how you turn it as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Should we turn it? Let's spin it. So you get a different effect.
Yeah.
So if you're buying the pastel bundle today, this is what you could be making. Only 2 of the pastels left.
Oh gosh.
Oh, gosh, you're going to have to be quick. Oh, but you have to grab the book. Oh, that's sold out too. Or just watch the show. You'll be fine. Hang on, and the last one, because this was one you made, Lucy, so I don't want to just
thank you.
It feel like,
That's very kind.
Just going to hide yours. That was another one that was in the book. So it might be, if you've grabbed the book already, that you actually want to just grab some other fabrics, make another quilt. Lots of options there. Beautiful. Right, got to put it away now.
Okay. So I've sewn the smaller triangles together, so I'm just going to complete those blocks now and sew those to the larger triangle. So it's just those half sections being sewn to the larger one. So I don't need to, I'll trim it once I've sewn it all together.
Once it's all done together.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just that, that's it.
Ha-ha.
Ha-ha.
It's actually coming together nice and quickly, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is a quick one to do. It's that initial laying it out, you know, making sure you've got your pieces in the right place. That's the only bit that you've got to... I mean, you should pay attention while you're piecing as well. That's the only bit that you've got to really think about.
Yeah.
Is your layout.
And don't drop them on the floor.
And try not to lose them.
You know, anything can happen.
Don't do that.
Anything can happen. Hey, have you got your gun yet? Your what is it? Micro stitch stitch thing. Well, I call it like a micro stitch gun. That's not its proper name. But it's very exciting.
Tool.
Your tool.
Yeah.
Micro stitch tool, to give it its full name there. By Avery. £22.95. I'm a bit obsessed with this. Can I do a bit more of it? Now, obviously, you'd have your wadding and everything to go through, but how? Ready? Oh, look. Ping. Noise is apparently not included. Well, you know.
Make your own.
Yeah. So your tax are 35% smaller than other what? Pretty small? Than other options. Reliable. Easy to use. It's got a durable metal feed mechanism, says producer Paul. Oh, he has to go into all the detaily bits.
Yeah.
It's great fun to use. I'm obsessed with it. I don't mind about the rest of it. It's fun and it makes life easier. And that's what I like.
Yes.
Yes. But producer Paul wants to know that it's got a metally bit that's durable and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is. And it's, you know, with using something like that, you want to know that you've got that quality, don't you?
Yeah, no, you do. Yeah, you want longevity as well.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it's just a gimmicky thing. It's one of those things that you're going to have and use.
Yeah.
If you were me, on pretty much everything. Not going to lie.
I've taught ladies, and that's absolutely their favourite basting method.
It's not even that. I think it's that I would just be grouping things together and just like, oh yeah, I need to keep those together. Don't necessarily want to put a pin through because, you know, I will then go through my fabric stash and hurt myself with it.
Yes.
Keep it together. It's got lots of different uses. Never mind just basting. You're trying to work
there.
Oh no. Oh, Lucy.
I've done it wrong.
No, is it my fault?
I don't know.
Probably.
Let's just sew this bit together and carry on. Have
Wait,
I done
do you
it wrong?
want...
I can't
I
work
don't
it
know.
out. Yeah, I have, because I've sewn the same colours together. Why did I do that?
I don't know. Check the instructions when you do it.
Oh, see what I mean about layout? There's me, keep talking, keep checking your layout, and then I just go and do it all wrong. Oh, well.
I can't remember how it went. Hang on.
We'll make a different one. No, it's because I've sewn the wrong... I was just matching it up rather than sewing
Which
the
way
right
should...
one. It should be a mix.
So the most popular is Under the Sea. Oh, I love that one. Oh, the Under the Sea one.
The blues.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you see, you could ombre that up, or you could just do a fabulous quilt in blues.
Could.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah. Oh, I do enjoy that. Check out your baskets. 4749 SSGC93 is your code for that. Reminds me, I've got a whale quilt to make for Freddie that I need lots of blues for. Yeah, that would be perfect, wouldn't it? 4749 SSGC93. Every time we have blues, I think I still haven't made it. What am I doing? Still haven't made it.
I've got quilts made for my children. Well, the tops pieced and not got round to quilting them. So
Maybe you'll have time when they go to university.
For the yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'll be. But they're quite childlike though. But anyway,
that's all right. Retro.
So when you're coming to sew the triangles together, so I've just sewn the two of the smaller triangles, This is for the centre square, and I've just finger pressed one seam one way and one the other way, so that we can butt those up. But when you're doing this, you want to be really careful because you're working with those bias edges. So I'm going to put a pin in the centre to hold that centre point, and then also pin the triangle points together. And then we'll sew it into some sort of strange configuration of a 9 patch that's not a card trick block, because I sewed it wrong because I wasn't paying attention and I had too much coffee in my break. But there we go, it's okay. We can still make something out of it and put it next to the one that I sewed correctly.
Variety. Always
Yes.
variety. Pauline says, I've been watching from day one. Please start a sewing quarter B. Great idea.
It is a great idea.
I don't know how we would go about that, but we need to think about it. Sue says, what did we do with our mornings before you guys were on? It's all such fun. Thank you all, says Sue. I think cleaning or something used to happen.
I know, yeah. Everybody's abandoned cleaning their houses.
Yeah, no one does that.
Yeah, we won't do that anymore.
And then another Susan says, good morning, great show. Lucy always does great demos. I'm considering...
Not always.
The 680. Well, you know.
Right, sorry.
We can always have an off day. Does Lucy find the arm length / throat, or not / throat, that sounds really wrong, doesn't it? Does Lucy find the arm length, also throat size, large enough?
Yes,
thanks.
I do, yeah.
Oh,
and it has made a big difference. You know, I've noticed, you know, if I'm sewing on a standard size machine now, I definitely feel the difference. And having all this space here does, you know, really does make a difference. Obviously, I'm quilting a lot, so you've got all that room there to get your, you know, to get your quilt in. And I don't roll quilts, I'm a smusher. Oh. So I just smoosh it over to the side. I mean, we can use mine. I'm happy.
Would you like to smoosh your quilt?
Smoosh mine, yeah.
Because this was a good sign. Whoops. Oh, I'm denuding the Christmas tree. Hang on, baubles ahoy.
We're just at it now. So I'm going to take that foot off because that's my 1/4-inch foot. And I'll put my regular foot on just so you'd have an idea, because a walking foot is about the same, you know, would be the same height. So if I'm quilting this, that's the centre of... There we go, that's the centre of the quilt there. So as I'm working, and I will turn, so I may not get the whole quilt, but if I needed to,
you can
I just can
smush away.
smush. And so I've got all that space there. And you could do more, and I've got enough that this, can you see there? Stay. That's flat. So the section that I'm working on there, I've got all that flat area. So even if I'm free motion quilting, I have a lot more space than I would do on a standard, machine. So
it
the answer is
that
yes.
difference, doesn't it? Every inch counts when you're quilting like that.
Sorry, thanks, Natasha.
I
and
know,
then
that's no problem.
the other thing is you've got more surface space in front of your foot as well. So if you've seen how I do my binding, I fold it as I'm going along. But even if I'm laying out pieces or I'm chain piecing and I want to put the next piece on, I've got a bigger space here.
Yes.
Than you do on a standard machine.
Yes.
And it seems like an odd thing, but actually this is just as helpful as having space there.
And also with this, you've got all the decorative stitching. So if you want to do all that, then you can do really nice big stitches. But you've also got the foot plate for just your quilting, so that it doesn't eat up those edges.
Yeah, you do.
So the info is on the website, and here you go, Sue. VKJE90 is the code that you need, and it is highly recommended by so many of our guests.
And it comes with, if I can just say, all the feet that you would need for quilting. So you get your free motion foot with all the different attachments on. You get the walking foot.
Do you know what? Having seen the feet today,
you get 2 free motion feet as well.
Kind of,
feet.
50 quid a pop.
Yes.
Actually, the fact that you get it in with all of that.
Yeah, I think sometimes people, it is easy to look over that, but you get all those tools that you need and that make a difference.
And they come in a little handy.
And you can do circles because it's got that pivot point, so you can do circles on this machine as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Right, what am I going to do with this now, Natasha?
Well, I mean, options.
Should we just
Lovely.
make it up?
Well, it looks like we're going to, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to, just for fun. We'll just
that's all right
different.
there.
That's okay.
So
if you do go wrong...
It's not the end of the world. Can that go
Yeah, we could do that way.
Maybe
Sure. Do something different.
Which one went... I'm trying to work out...
It's like a sort of half card trick block.
It's a different trick,
It's a different trick. I don't know what that is. Anyway. There we go.
So, here you are. Here's one we made earlier.
Thank goodness, when I was paying attention. But do you know, I'm just going to treat this as if it was a block and sew it together. So at least you can see a basic 9 patch. So the reason that we trim off the dog is because if you're sewing this together, you've got extra bulk, and then when you come to press your seam, you just end up with these bulky pieces, and when you're quilting, you can...
It's when you go wonky, isn't it? Because you have to go over the bobbly bits.
Bumps, so I would just... You can do it with scissors or do it with rotary cutter. It depends whether you need to cut down the size of your blocks. You can just check. These should all be 4.5-inch unfinished blocks.
Yes.
So you can trim those if necessary. So I'll start.
Because as award-winning director Mike says, it's bigger than the finished one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look what I've got over here. Now, warm and natural. Here's the thing, okay? You'll notice we've got warm and white and warm and natural. Look at the difference in the colour. Okay, sounds really obvious. This is more naturally coloured, and this one is white. So if you are going for one that has darker colours, go for your warm and natural, makes no odds. If you're going for something that has a lot of light colours, a lot of pastels, go for your warm and white because it gives you the true colour of the fabric. So your warm and natural, absolutely gorgeous. This is all 100% cotton, I believe. It doesn't have any, it is all cotton, isn't it? I think, yes. And then your warm and white, like I say, if you're going for your pastels, colours like that, and you want those colours true to form, then go for this. Yes, it says you asked for it. Warm and natural lightens up. That's what it says on the back here.
Because it does make a difference. People did ask for it. Quilters asked for it.
Yes.
Because putting white on the natural gives a different look. It doesn't keep them as white.
No, so I mean, fine if you're working with your tilde where you want that kind of shabby chic-y...
Yes, absolutely. Look. And it's just... And it's dependent on the finish that you like. If you like that more vintage finish, the warm and natural's perfect.
Yep.
If you want it to be bright white, you want the warm and white.
There you go, that's your difference in colours. I just wanted to show you, because we did sort of say the micro stitch does come with white and black when you get it. So you'll be able to see the colour that you put through if you put it with a contrasting fabric. £22.95 for that. But if you are going to need more, then don't forget those are on the website. Excellent. Bit obsessed with that. Loving that.
I'm just imagining all the people at home that watched me do that and were shouting at their televisions, "No, Lucy, you're doing it wrong."
Well, nobody messaged
Never mind.
in, did they, Paul, to say?
Never mind.
Did anybody message in to say, "Stop, Lucy, she's done it wrong"?
I probably just did it too quickly.
No, no one did.
No. Oh, well.
I don't think.
Bless your hearts.
Oh. Well, you know, these things.
Well, we could
happen.
name this when I've done it. We'll
Lucy.
see what it looks like and we'll give it a name, and then we've
Brennan
created
block.
a whole new patchwork block, which is part of the fun, isn't it?
Yes. So you could then send this off to your patchwork bee.
Yes, and say make this modern interpretation.
Yes.
We'll call it failed magic.
Oh! That's tragic.
Oh, well, I'm not upset. It's fine. We just go
Failed
with
magic.
it. Failed magic.
You're just putting anything together.
I'm just
now,
putting
aren't
them together now.
Doesn't matter.
I've abandoned all...
All hope.
Yeah.
Geraldine says,
Oh,
Lucy,
Gerard.
everything you make is beautiful.
Well, you're very kind, Geraldine. You've not seen this yet.
And when you go wrong, make sure it's unique.
There we go. Thank you, Geraldine. It's
can we
true.
have a Lucy and Tasha thesaurus, please? Oh dear. Maybe we should just come with subtitles.
I think we need one. Yeah, we need one. We don't understand ourselves.
Michelle says, good morning, ladies. I get up earlier, load the dishwasher, clean the kitchen, and that's it until after 12, says Shelley.
Well done. Well
Good work.
done.
Good work.
Yeah.
Wilma says, how do you tackle cutting out the triangles from such a large piece of material? Is it on the bias? New to quilting, love the show, says Anna.
That's a really good question. Really good question. When you're cutting the triangles, you want to make sure that the straight edges, so like that part there and that part there, you're cutting on the straight of the grain.
What do you mean by that? Because if you're new, then you might not understand what that means.
So you've got your fabric from selvage to selvage.
So the selvage is the end bit, the frilly end bit.
Do you want to hold that so I can point? Thank you.
Oh.
So from selvage to selvage, this is your weft, and then you've got your warp, which runs this way, okay? And the warp and the weft are the straight edges. And then any diagonal cuts that you make, that's bias. So when we talk about bias, that's what we talk about when we're biased. So when you're using your templates, you want to make sure that the outer edge parts, so the straight part there, is on the straight of the grain. So you're cutting that in line with the selvage. Okay? That straight part. And the bottom part of this triangle, that you're going to cut that in line as well. So if you're cutting this out and drawing it onto the fabric, that's how you want to do it.
That's a good point. Good question. Really good
Another
question,
method
Anna.
of doing it is making squares and then cutting them. And that's fine. But if you're doing squares, obviously you don't want to set your squares on a diagonal either. And the reason that you do that, part of the reason that you do that is when you've got your finished block then, the edges of the triangles are straight of grain, not bias. So you haven't got as much stretch on the edge.
I'm with you. Yes.
As you would do if it, as that part there has a lot of stretch in it. So you want to try and keep the edges. It's not always possible, depends on the pattern, but you want to try and keep the edge parts
Anna, thank
straight.
you. We forget that we have new viewers all the time and those people that are new to quilting. So if you ever have a question, that's a brilliant question. If you ever have questions like that, please do message in because, you know, let's make the most of our experts.
Yeah, I do like getting questions because sometimes if I don't know the answer, it means I'm learning something new at the same time. And if I can help anybody out, then that's I'm doing my job.
Lucy, I've got to leave you.
Oh.
The time has come. Thank you ever so much. When you're back.
I'll make it and I'll put it on my Instagram. When I've finished it, I'll just finish it for the sake of it.
Amazing.
I am back 28th, I think.
Okay. Do we know what we might be trying to make then?
I have an idea, but I'm going to keep it a secret.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Or is that just in case it doesn't work out?
There might be rulers.
Oh. From our favourite ruler-based people?
Yes, from our favourite ruler-based
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank Thank you, my love.
Thank you.
Always fun.
Thanks,
right,
Natasha.
come with me. Oh, yes, just quickly, producer Paul, what? Oh, we've had an email from Esme. Effney. Oh, that's unusual. She bought the micro-stitch tool. She says it's brill. Yes. You could. Oh, she says she uses it for basting hems. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. She says, love you two together. Great combination. I think she might mean me and Lucy, not you and me, producer Paul. Yeah, yeah. Excellent. Thank you very much. Excellent. Oh, how lovely. Thank you very much. Most popular, Under the Sea. Is it still? Oh, he's singing me the Under the Sea song. Is that from The Little Mermaid? Yeah, nice. 47.49. SSGC 93. Yeah. 47.49. I do love that bundle. You could do the you could do the whole ombre bit, couldn't you, with that? Lovely. Have we only got a minute left? Oh my goodness, what is the next hour? Next hour is exciting. Oh, it's Sashiko! I've completely forgotten. Thinking, what is it? It's Tasha's Sashiko. So, yeah, normally I have Jennifer Taylor for Sashiko, but no. Today I am flying solo Sashiko for me. Now, we've brought you back the templates that sold out so quick last time. We've also bringing you a different starter kit, a new starter kit. Now, our starter kits always sell out. So join me. We're going to start from scratch on the old Sashiko. And we're also bringing you Lucy's favourite, which is a shame because she's not actually on the show, which is the Hera marker. That's all coming up after the break. Thank you as ever, Lucy. Check out your baskets, don't miss out on a thing, and I will see you in just a couple of moments. Grab yourself a cuppa, join me in a moment.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love.
So I'm going to be showing you how to do an ease stitch. It's very similar to our running stitch here, but the purpose of it would be different. So I've kind of mocked the head of a sleeve here. 9 times out of 10 you will have to ease the top section of your sleeve. So this is the stitch that you would do that with if you were going to do it with hand. So I'm going to use the embroidery thread. I've just popped a knot on the end again just so it doesn't pull through. Normally you wouldn't do it with embroidery thread. So on your sleeve, normally these sections will need to be kept as they are because it's only this section here that we need to be working with. So I'm going to be doing a running stitch quite close to the edge of the fabric. I'm just going to do the quick method here where you're pulling the needle through the fabric while keeping it on the same needle. So I'm going to stop there and then pull that all the way through like so. So you can see that I've got just that section sewn there, and then as I begin to pull you can see that I'm easing the head of my sleeve in. So when that is stitched, these curves should disappear. They shouldn't be there because you've eased the bigger section into a smaller section on the clothing. So that's easing.
Liberty is one of Britain's most iconic brands, labelled the chosen resort of the artistic shopper by Oscar Wilde. Established in 1875, its founder's vision was to change the face of fashion and homeware by bringing a taste of the Orient to London. More than 140 years on, Liberty is still a wonderland of luxurious furnishings, sumptuous fabrics, and wearable works of art. So we're proud to announce that we've been selected to stock Liberty's brand new range of quilting weight fabrics. The English Garden Collection reimagines classic 19th century floral prints inspired by the colours of nature. To bring the collection to life, we've enlisted the help of our top quilting experts. Through our inspiring demonstrations, you'll gather an abundance of new techniques and ideas to help you create your own little Liberty masterpiece at home. So join us as we take a trip to the wonderful world of Liberty, coming soon to Sewing Quarter, online, on YouTube, and on Freeview Channel 78.
Welcome to this hour at Sashiko. So if you've never seen a Sashiko show before, or if you have seen and gone, yeah, no, quite fancy having a go at that, then this is the hour for you. So Sashiko, what is it? It is, of course, the ancient Japanese art. It's a mending stitch. It's a running stitch. It's just a straight stitch. So if you go, well, yeah, I can manage a straight stitch, this is the art form for you. It's a mending stitch. They used to layer up indigo fabrics into beautiful things. It would give that extra warmth, but it would also repair. So the starter kit today, you're going to have a metre of fabric in there. You've got 2 different skeins. You've got your Hera marker. You've got your needles, your book, your templates, and your to copy. I don't know if that's how you say it. I'll show you. It's $42.49. Let me show you what you're getting. Let's have a look through the book and the templates. So this is how I would say to go. Look through the book and then work your way through the book. We'll go through this in more detail later. Then once you've got an idea on the techniques, go through your templates. Now, we do have these templates as part of the bundle. We do also have them by themselves. So if you'd like these by themselves, and these are all by us, we've produced these for you. We've kind of, well, we've taken the Sashiko world by storm with how much you've all absolutely loved it. So what we've done is we've created these templates. You can't get these anywhere else. These are made by us, and they're all based on ancient designs. Your original sort of Sashiko designs. There you go. So you've got the templates then to use as many times as you like for $9.95. They're there, they're done. They've sold out actually last time we did them, so we had to get some more printed off and bring them to air for you. So if you missed out on them last time, $9.95. Well, we're not going to bring them back again. Oh, here we go. We're lucky days. We've got them here. But this is what they look like. Really lovely, aren't they? And then this is what they look like all Sashiko'd up. It's lovely, isn't it? So you see you've got your border stitching around there. It's really very lovely. Oh, I like the dragonfly. I do enjoy the dragonfly. Because you can put them in anything. You know, jean pockets, something like that. And then there you go. There's a lovely classic there. Yeah. Right. Okay. So now, last time, the other thing that sold out is your copy paper. It's got a funny name. It's sort of Chikopi. Basically, you know when a waitress comes to take your order and it does an extra copy, like a carbon copy, it's basically that, but in different colours. So if you've got one of those pinwheel things to transpose, it is a pinwheel, isn't it? Yeah, to transpose all your patterns for dressmaking, then you can use that with this. But you've got different colours. So you get a sheet of white, a sheet of yellow, a sheet of blue, a sheet of pink, a sheet of green. So you get all of these so that you can always use a contrasting colour to the fabric that you have. And we're going to use this. We're going to show you how to do this. So you've got all of those colours. Sold out in minutes last time. And look, you get a big sheet. So they're all this size sheet. They're all that size. There you go. And they are $4.75. Sold out last time. If you missed out, grab it. It's got instructions on how to use it as well. Oh, there you go. 30 by 25 centimetres, says producer Paul, who is in charge of numbers upstairs. Now the Hera marker. Oh, now this is Lucy's favourite tool. She really, really loves this. Basically, if you've ever done paper crafting, it looks like a paper creaser. But you just use it. In fact, hang on. Here we go. I can show you exactly how to use it because I've got it here. So it's to give you precise lines. I know that Lucy loves using this. She says this is her favourite tool. She was a little bit gutted, actually, that she wasn't going to get to use it this hour and that I got it. But there you go. Such is life. You can use it against your ruler. And then you just press down, like you would a rotary cutter, just press down on there like that. And can you see? That has given you... Can you see that mark there? So it irons out, washes out. You're not putting any, if you're worried about a fabric as to whether or not, any of your pens or anything are going to come out, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's always going to come out. So you see, when you do because the first thing that you need to do with your Sashiko is to create a grid. So you might do like an inch grid. then that's fine. You just mark that off like that. Then mark along, next grid, like that. But you're not using a pen. You're not using any kind of chemicals or anything like that. And there you go. So it gives you a nice, there you go. You can see it. You can really see it there. Because in Sashiko, you want to start off with a grid. And so just create that. I'm getting a bit carried away, so we'll come back to that in a minute. Needles. Now, you asked for them, we brought them to you because Sashiko needles are different to normal needles. You want lovely long needles because as you go through, and you'll see, you kind of want to get the same number of stitches for each of the grids. So if you've got a lovely long, and these are the longest ones that we do, and these are specifically for your Sashiko, then you can have lots of stitches on that needle and check that they're kind of an equal length. So 395, and you've got 3 different lengths there. And you'll notice they've also got a gold eye, gold-plated eye there, so that they thread really easily, and then they're nickel-plated. Now, there's another set here, which gives you 8, 4 different lengths, 2 of each. So you use skeins, you use embroidery skeins for this. And with the embroidery skeins, you can break them down. A skein is twisted into 6 threads, but you can break those down and go anywhere from 1 up to the 6. It's entirely up to you. So that's why you need your different needle sizes, eye sizes, needle lengths. Up to you. Depends on which design you're doing. There you go. That's why we've got all the different ones. Now, talking of skeins, here are our 3 different... Whoops. It's having an argument with the pincushion. Let's go white, because that is tradition. So traditionally, Sashiko would be done on indigo fabric. That's how that would normally go. So it would be white on indigo, and so beautiful patterns would go from there in that classic blue and white. So 95p for your anchor stranded cotton, 8 meters of your white skein. But you can see it's got a lovely luster, this one. Very nice. But you see, we've used lots of different colours. If you want to use red as well, so, you know, maybe you want to start doing some Christmas cards. In the book, actually, which we'll look at in a minute, it shows you how to do gift cards, greetings cards and things like that, as just a nice little sampler for these. That's your 95p there. There we go. And then there we have your green, individually there. And that's again 95p. XVGQ 46. There we go. Perfect. Now it's all about the stars pack. So in the starter kit, you kind of get, well, everything we just talked about, really. So let's have a look. Do you want to have a look at the book? Let's go through the book, because the book is really quite vital in this. We will look at everything. You're getting fabric, you're getting templates. Oh, yeah, there you go. Look at that. Needles, hair marker, the lot. All coming to you in this whopping great big kit. You get all the templates in there as well, not just, 1 or 2, all of them. But let's have a look. Let's start off with the book, because this is where you're going to start. When you're at home, this is very much where you're going to start. Now, this is simple Sashiko. And it just has lots of ways to apply the Sashiko, okay? So it's not too complicated, it's not daunting, it's just there. But look at that. Really beautiful ways in which to use your Sashiko. Talks about getting started, the needles, the fabric, the thread. Well, we've got that all sorted for you. You can skip that page if you want. The only thing that you will need, of course, is a ruler. So if you don't have a ruler, I use Creative Grids because they're my favourite rulers, and I will show you that in a moment. So you would mark off. Now you've got your Hera marker in here, so you're all good to go with marking. And it shows you how to do your stitches. How clear is this? Really lovely and clear. Takes you through your basic techniques. And off we go. And I just think these are lovely to have kind of samples up on the wall. The thing that I love about this book is the styling of it, the simplicity, that lovely nod to its Japanese ancestry in just how simply and beautifully it's made. A warning on stock for what? Oh my goodness, we only started with 20 of the starter kits. So if you're after it and it's in your basket, please check out your basket. Okay, don't be disappointed. We are just guided with these by how many books and things we have in stock. So that's all. We can't, if we don't have the books, then we can't make any more kits. So it takes you through step by step. Now, you'll know if you've seen the shows with Jen and myself, we often have a giggle about, we say, sash yes, sash no. There are basic rules. And it's going to take you through these. This is the right way down here. This is the wrong way. So it's got very firm guidelines as to what you should or shouldn't do. Okay? And it's all to do with that tradition. So when you come to a crossroads like that, the stitches should never touch. You can see there, never touches. And so you can see down here, when you do the star type one, they never cross in the middle. That's wrong. Sash no. Sash yes, sash no. And that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. So 8 different projects in here. So it's really achievable. You just work your way through. I love this bag. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. You've got fabric. You can get going straight away. So you've got all of the projects. I would say work your way through because each one builds on complexity. So there's your grid. You draw your grid. And then it shows you where to start and then which direction to go in. So you do that stitch up there first. Now, when Jennifer does these, she'll do that stitch in one colour, and then she'll do the next direction in another colour. And so off she goes like that. So, and it just shows you up like that, and then across, down, and just follow as it says. So then you've got all of these different ideas in the book as well. We'll go through that in more detail. And again, it's taking you step by step as to how to build that pattern up so that you get a beautiful complex one like that, but it's taking it through, even down to how to start off drawing your grid. You're not left. No. It breaks it down as to how to even do your grids, mark your grids out. And then you've got the step-by-step instructions with it as well. Now, we've had this cushion. We've done a variation of the cushion, but again, it starts to get more complex. So you're building on everything that you need to know. You're building step by step. So suddenly you're getting quite a complex scenario going on here, but you followed it step by step, so it's not daunting in any way, shape, or form. And you build to that. Isn't that fab? But you've done it step by step, so it really is achievable. And through you go. I think this is a lovely gift for someone just moving home or someone who loves a bit of sushi or something. You know, they have a sushi night. Now I'm going to hold it there and show you what you've got in your kit. The book. The book is your starting point. Once you've gone through the book, because it builds step by step, so you do the first project, then you build on your experience, you build onto the next one. When you've done that and you've got a good idea as to how Sashiko works, then you can start with your templates, because then you'll understand about the direction of the stitches. You do all the stitches in one direction and then the next. But then you can work out. So when you get a pattern like that, you'll know that you do the stitches in one direction and then in the other, and build it like that. And you'll know your sash yeses and your sash nos. So again, you'd go and you'd do all the top line, and then you do the next line, and off you go. So you're getting all of the templates. There are 5 different templates there. Sheets of templates. You're also getting your Hera marker. That's coming. That means that you can then mark any fabric. That's all done for you. That's all in there. You're also getting your char copy, because then that means that you can use your Hera marker if you want through that carbon copy and work it that way. Or you can just use your Hera markers just straight onto the fabric, as I showed you. You're also getting your needles, proper Sashiko needles. It's the right thing for the job, isn't it? Don't use your embroidery needles. They're not the same. They're really not the same. So you've got a really sharp tip on here so that it easily goes through, which is lovely. And then you've got 2 different colour skeins. You've got red and you've got your white, so you can build up that different contrast. And then you've also got 1/2 metre of each of these. So you can do that classic white on navy. But then you've also got your ecru, so that you can also have your red on the ecru. And then you've got enough to start some of the projects in the book. So that's all in there. Now, it might be that you were someone that bought one of these bundles before and now you just need fabric. That's okay, we've got that covered too. So the blue one, if you're sticking with kind of your traditional Sashiko is indigos, is your blues. So this is your traditional Sashiko bundle that we've got for you here. 1/2 metre of each of these, so 1.5 metres in total. Now, you've got dark blue there, and then you've got, now look at them covered in thread. You've got your linen. Look at your texture here. This is not just a flat colour. There's a texture through it. I don't know how close we can get to show you that. I love this one. There you go. And then you've also got your ocean in there. So you've got 3 different types of blue. So you can start to build up. Perfect for your Sashiko. $10.99 for 1.5 metres of blue bundled fabric there. Now we've got greens. You can get a bit Christmassy, can't you? Why not? So again, you've got a linen effect in there. So maybe you do want to get some texture going through. You've got that. Again, 1.5 metres in total here. So it's all the greens. It might be that you just want greens in your stash because actually they're really handy to have. In which case, you've got foliage and you've got a dark green and then you've got the grass linen one. Nice. Now the last one is the red bundle. Actually, the red and the green bundle look lovely together. Oh, Christmas. So in this bundle, you have got a bit of green fluff. Now, you've got that linen effect there. You can really see the linen look through the red, can't you? Nice. You've got Christmas red and you've got port. That's what you've got through there. So they're your reds. They're your Christmassy reds. I see I might be tempted by the red and the green, but then I'd get carried away and do stuff for Christmas. But that's okay. You can do that too. Now, templates by themselves. Let's just remind you of how those templates are looking by themselves. Here we go. So if you wanted to do the dragonflies, that's how they look up. Like that. Just like that. If you wanted to do, and again, the nice thing about having the templates is that you choose how much or as little of it you want to do. It might be that you just want to do the central motif of this one and do it on a smaller item. So $9.95 gets you all of these templates that I'm showing you now. So you choose how big. It might be that you just want it for a cushion front or for a pin cushion or whatever you like. You might not want to do the whole thing. You might just want a little area, a little section. So these are our very own templates. You can't get them anywhere else. Based on traditional Sashiko designs. So then if you want to echo that and do them larger, then you've got those. And then you've got the edges for these. So you've got the edges and then you've got the floral motifs as well. Lovely. The templates sold out so quickly when we brought them to air. You do get them as part of your bundle, so if you buy the bundle, you don't need to worry. Do not worry. So a lovely little Christmas gift. I don't know what that's doing there. Under £10 and 1p&p, of course. Don't forget that. Now, let's have a look. Oh, the Hera marker. Yeah, let's carry on with that Hera marker because then I can do my grid. So the very first thing that you'd need to do when you do your Sashiko is to mark out your grid. So as you can see with the Hera marker, no chemicals, no paint. You're not having to worry if you've got the right colour or anything because you're just marking onto the fabric. It's just using this. So then I would use my creative grid and I would line everything up like that. And then you just mark along there. So you just use it like you would a rotary cutting. Can you see? There. It kind of brings a sheen out of the fabric. But again, that's going to wash away. But it's very easy to see, or you just iron it away. But you're not having to worry about whether or not you've ruined your fabric. So just mark on there. There you go. And so you create your grid. And that's the first thing that you need to do. So I've just done an inch grid here. And of course, using something like your creative grids, if we're talking grids, is really fab. And this size ruler was the one that I picked because it just works. It just works. So we'll look at that in just a moment. But your Hera marker, $5.95, it never runs out. It's one of those things that never, ever runs out. So there it is. There's my grid done. There we go. And the ruler is Creative Grids. Now, I went for this one because I didn't want to be wielding a great long ruler around the place everywhere. And this is just a really handy one. It's also handy for cutting down your blocks like Lucy was doing earlier. Then you've got this one. So this is 4.5 inches by 12.5 inches. Very handy sizes. It's not too big to be wielding around. And of course, with your creative grids, you get two sides. So you get the white marks, which just give you inches. So I know that from that edge, my white marks give me my inches along the bottom there. So that's an inch in. If I spin it around, then along the bottom there, from that edge, that is going to be 1.5 inches. Half an inch, 1.5 inches. So if I'm just looking to add 1/2 inch for a seam allowance, then all of that is there. Now you can see there that that's kind of opaque, and that's the inbuilt grip that you get with creative grids. That's all embedded in there, those circles as well, all of that, all embedded, so that when that is on my fabric, it's not going anywhere. And I'm pushing that at an angle, and it's not going anywhere. Okay, so $16.95, QTCQ 32, great size to have. Nice. Chicopi. I don't know if I say that right. Chicopi, is that right? Yeah? Okay, basically it's this. Now, if you want to use this with your Hera marker, you absolutely can. So you're getting 5 sheets, all different colours down there. So blue, green, it's kind of like a pinky red, isn't it? White and yellow, and this is how you would use it. So you'd pop it with the sort of poppy side down, and then you'd grab yourself one of your templates. That's fine. Oh, I like the big one. Now, grab your starter kit because it's all in your starter kit. So then, over half the stock's gone, by the way. So then you just mark, trace over and mark. So you've got that pointy edge there, if you want to, on your Hera marker. There you go. Whee, round it goes. There you go. Just mark that off. And the thing is, you can check to see if you've put enough pressure on. Possibly shouldn't, but there you go. So that comes through, and that's just using your Hera marker rather than using a pen or anything like that. Okay, so that's how you do that. And then you've got that to use again. Nice. And 5 sheets in different colours, so you use your contrasting colour. Do you want to see a grid done? Oh, you want to go through the stuff again? All right, it's fine. Needles. Needles, needles. We had to source these specially because so many of you loved the Sashiko idea. And so it became clear to us very early on that actually embroidery needles just weren't going to cut it. You need special Sashiko needles. And that's what these are. And these are particularly long ones. So if you can imagine, on your grid, you'll be counting your stitches, if you will, and then you want to check that you've got a nice, even stitch length, and that's going to be held on the needle, because it's much easier if you haven't got the stitch right to just pull it off the needle than it is to try and pull, you know, the thread through. So $3.95 for that, for your 3 long Sashiko needles. If you want shorter ones, different sizes on those eyes, then we've got 8 here, 4 different types, 2 of each. You go, yes. And that's $4.95. Super, super sharp there. And then you've got that little gold-plated top there to make it nice and easy. There we go. What do you want to do next, Producer Paul? Let's look at the book. Oh, we got part way through the book, didn't we? Now, if you want the book, we've only got 3 left. But if you do want the book by itself, then details there, £8.95 for the book. And what I like about the simple Sashiko book is that it's not too intimidating. You know, you don't look at it and go, I don't know where to start, because you've got beautiful gift ideas. Now look at that. I mean, that's just really lovely, isn't it? Really beautiful idea. We should make it. I think it would be a lovely new house gift. And also, actually, a lot of these you'd be able to give to friends. You'd be able to give, and also to male friends as well, who might not want something all florally and girly, but something like this, you absolutely could. So whether it's grandsons or husbands or whatever, you know, you can make these things. Yeah, it does have sort of a masculine feel as well. But you see, it would have been used to repair male clothes as well as female clothes. So that's why it's not just predominantly female at all. It's a really lovely, it's a mending stitch. It's just a straight stitch. All of those just done with a straight stitch. I love the long sampler. It's that simple stylishness, isn't it? Can't beat it. So the book gets you going. Look at these grids, taking you through step by step exactly how to do it. Very nice and easy. And then maybe you want to build up to doing a sampler like that. And then you've got a whole wall hanging. So that's everything that you've done. Build up, build up, build up, and you've got yourself a wall hanging. Beautiful. Really beautiful. And it even shows you how to put them together if you want to make exactly that. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a bit different. Nobody else is going to have that. So there are your projects. Fabulous, isn't it? Yay. Oh, we had the author on the show, didn't we? We had Susan Briscoe here. She actually told us how to say it as well. And it is Sashiko. There you go. If you've written a book on it, then you're allowed to say. Templates next. These sold out first time we brought them to wear. They are available by themselves. So if you've already got a starter kit and now you just want some templates to play with, here you go. Under a tenner, £9.95. And you take as much or as little as you want from them. So it might be that you just want that central motif. It might be that you just want a little patch of that. Or it might be that you want that and then just some of the lattice work around it. Or you want the whole thing. It's entirely up to you because you're going to transfer it using your Hera marker. There you go, there's your dragonfly in all sorts of different directions. And then you've got a larger version. So maybe you want to echo the larger grid that you had with that central floral motif. And then you've got the larger version of this. And the smaller version is coming up in just one moment. And then you've got your flowers and your border. So if you want to do a border around something, just extend that, do it the other way around. And there you go. So we can start to get an idea of what that's going to look like. Shall I just slide them underneath and then you'll get a nice idea? Because Jennifer Taylor did these for us. And you can really get an idea of how these work out. I love the dragonflies. And you could do that, you could just do that as a little motif on a kid's pair of dungarees or something. There you go. There, like that. Yay! And then you've got your other one up there. That's how you go. So £9.95. It's nice to see them actually come alive, isn't it? It's really lovely. So we've got the skeins as well. So you choose which colour you want to generally work in. And actually, it's really interesting because we had a Japanese garden range of fabric, and as a background detail, you could see a Sashiko design of stitching. And once you start to understand about Sashiko and know a little bit about it, you start to see it. It's in there. It's part of that northern Japanese heritage. Lovely. Have we had lots of images? Since we started Sashiko, take a look at these. Oh, that's fabulous. So lots of you having a go at this. Lots of you embracing the wonderful world of Sashiko. Isn't it fab? And this is something you can take on the go as well. Brilliant. So Juanita, Julie, Fiona, and Beth, And who else? Teresa and Sue, they've all sent in images. Thank you ever so much. Fabulous. Do keep sending them in. We love to see them. We love to see them. It's fabulous. Here's how you send them in. studio@sewingquarter.com. And that's how you send them in. If you're just messaging the studio to say hi or something like that, then you can do that off the website underneath where you can watch live. But if you're emailing, then it's studio@sewingquarter.com. And we do always love to hear from you. Yay. So let's show you, because we've talked a lot about it. Now let's actually show you. So get yourself some of your thread. Now this is your embroidery skein. And it's up to you how thick you want to do it. Now I know that what Jen likes to do is break the skein down. Now an embroidery skein, if I show you there, an embroidery skein is split into 6 strands. Now an easy way to do it, if you want to get that full thickness and really get that effect, is to just halve it and just let that unravel. Put one half to one side and then thread. Now, of course, if you've got the needle threader that we had on the other day, you're all good to go. That sold out, didn't it? Now, the starter kit, if everybody checks out, only 6 left. Now, with Sashiko, very much a sash yes is to, oh, there you go, that's your starter kit, 42.49. And you get all of that. It's massive, 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 massive. But you do have to check out your basket. Now, if you want the effect of the 6 threads, just double up. Just double up there. And knot. Put a big old knot in the end. You can knot with this. Okay, I know that with embroidery, sometimes that's a big no. With Sashiko, nice big fat knot to start yourself off. Now, I'll use the grid that I just did with my creative grid and with my Hera marker. And what I want to do is I want to come up. Now, first thing of Sashiko is that I'm never going to come up. Can you see where that cross is there? I don't know if you can see. I'm never going to come up right in that centre bit. Okay, that's a sash no. All right. So you want to start just to the side of there, because you don't ever want all of your stitches to cross. And then this is why you need the long needles, because it's just a running stitch. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to stop there. Now you see you've got those on your needle, but actually I'm going to make that last one a little bit longer, so that I'm going to come down and not cross into that central bit. So this is why you need your long needles, so that you can absolutely tell where you're going. They're nice even stitches, and then I can keep going. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go again. You come up the other side, still all on my needle, if I want them to be. 1, 2. Oh, no, you see, too short. So you'll get into the rhythm of it. So make them a little bit smaller. 1. And you just count along your stitches. And again, I want to come up so that when I go there, I'm going to go underneath. And then you can just start and you can pull through. And that's why you want a nice long needle. Now, remember, this is a mending stitch. Okay? So you would never pull it really tight. Now, what I have done there, I haven't done 4 stitches there. So I would maybe just make sure that the next I either go 3 or I do 4, and then just keep that consistency. But it's whatever is going to work for you. So actually 3 felt more comfortable, so I might undo it and start again. But it depends, or just keep going. It's entirely up to you. But you see, then you would work out, so you'd do all along. Now you'd normally have a much longer piece of thread. So let's just carry on along there. So 1, 2, 3, and then under. Now, I'm going to go through now to my next layer of fabric. So remember, this is a mending stitch. This is what Jennifer always tells us, is that because it's a mending stitch, when you go down to your next layer, so I'll go down to the next layer there, and I'm going to go in there, because I'm not going to go through the cross, because that's a sash no, just to the side. When I take that through, what I will leave is a loop. If you do it really tight, remember these were garments that were going to be worn, then it could easily just snap again. So you wouldn't want to do that. You want to leave yourself a loop so that then you've got that give and you're not going to snap it. So that, again, that's just another thing. And then you would get going again and you would do your next layer. And so you'd build up. So you'd do all of your horizontals. Oh, we've got a question, have we? There you go. And so you just do your stitches along there, put them on your needle and work your way through. And then when you've done all those, you would then work your way through and go across there. And when you go through, remember, you'd do your stitching either side of that cross there. Either side, so you wouldn't end up with any stitches on there. Now, all of that explained in the books. Starter kit, if everybody checks out, there's one left. You have to check out your baskets now, I'm afraid. Lots of you just leaving it in your basket, but that's not how to get it. It'll just, you'll miss out. This has been so popular. Oh, I've got a message. Linda in Dorset says, "Hi, Natasha, help. Does the circular sewing device fit all Elna machines? Love all the show," says Linda. Now this is the circular sewing foot, isn't it? You have to measure the bobbin plate. So hang on, have we got a sewing machine I can show? Can we just, here we go. Cameraman Tim's gonna, no, not that machine, the other, that one down there, that was the one we used, yeah. Here we go, let me show you. And do we actually have the foot anywhere? So you want to measure that bit, okay, because that's what the circular thing is going to, the circular foot is going to slot into. So it should measure across, what should that measure across, Bridget Paul? 25 millimetres, 35 millimetres across by 42 millimetres deep. So 35 by 45. There you go. And then it'll just slot in. Hope that helps. Now, what are we looking at now? Templates. There we go. So your templates, here they are. These are the ones that we've brought for you. We produced them ourselves. There was such an interest in Sashiko. I thought, well, do you know what? Let's investigate here and let's find some traditional type designs and get them so that you can then use them wherever you want. So this is something that you can take on holiday with you. You can do on the train. You can just take it wherever you want to go. So you've got all of these and this large ones. So really beautiful. This one here is a larger version here, so you can echo stitches through. You've got all sorts. I mean, I could just see that on a pocket or something like that. You've got your dragonfly there. I'd like that on a kid's pair of dungarees. So you can embellish. You know, Lucy and I were talking earlier about hand-me-down clothes for children. And as a second child, I got a lot of my brother's clothes, which meant a lot of dungarees because I refused to wear dresses, even at a young age. And so actually, if you want to girly something up a little bit, I'd have loved a dragonfly, put on, sash code on, to my pair of dungarees. It was the 70s, nice pair of brown dungarees. They were a treat. Here are your dragonflies. It does look simple, but it's so effective. Just like, and also it's a timeless classic, isn't it? Well, you think how ancient this is as an art form. And I love that this is reinventing and rejuvenating an ancient art form. They shouldn't be allowed to just slip away and be forgotten. And as everything, it should evolve. And that's exactly what it's doing. It's now for decorative reasons, for presents for people. We don't mend, do we? We don't do a mend anymore. But what we can do is take a beautiful art form and then make it into gifts, make it into a bag, make it into samplers, make it into a placemat, make it into a cushion. All of these ideas you've now got. And if you bought the starter kit, then you've got the book to go through and work your way through. It's not daunting or intimidating. There's not too much in there. So you can work your way through and really get to grips with it nice and easily without being overwhelmed by too much information. And that's the joy of this particular book. And then you've got your templates in your starter kit so that you can then just go on and take whichever elements that you wanted. So we wanted to give you a bit of inspiration, a bit of a tutorial so that you had everything, and even the fabric and the skeins and the needles, everything to get going. So that is a hobby in one. All you need to do is add in a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, then add it in. So there are your templates, $9.95. KPIE 37, that's your code for that. Now, let's have a look at these fabric bundles. Traditional, let's start with the blue, because that is your traditional colour there. That's your traditional colour. So you've got, oh, it's the linen, that blue linen. I do love that linen effect and the indigo. Look at, I just... Can you just see the difference there, that you've got some depth to this one here. This is just your plain, and this one has got a little bit more depth of colour because it's got that linen effect. Is that hard to see? Trust me, when you get it, it's got a warmth to it. It's not just a flat colour. And then you've got your ocean in there. Beautiful. So they're your blues. If you're going traditional and you want, yes, Sashiko traditional, then it should be the blues. $10.99 for 1.5 meters of fabric there. Nice. Now, maybe, you see, you want to do, you see, look at this. This would be beautiful for a Christmas decoration. Really beautiful. And then that's something that you can bring out year on year. And actually, you know, it would be a lovely idea. You know how we put bits of fabric in our embroidery hoops? You could then maybe frame that in an embroidery hoop and have it up on the wall. It'd be lovely, wouldn't it? So $10.99, and these are the reds that you get. So you get your red linen effect there. So you've got some texture in there. Then you've got Christmas red. You can probably see the texture actually better in that than you can on the blue version. But the blue version has that linen effect. Then you've got your Christmas red, and then you've got port. Port. We could all do with a port. Come on, lovely. $10.99 there. Now, the last one is your greens. Now, you see the reds and the greens work really well together, don't they? That's Christmas in bundles. Here we go. So your greens, you have got, that's your linen effect green. So again, giving you a little bit of texture before you even start. And then we've got a dark green in there, and we've got foliage green. And then that's your grass in linen. $10.99. Fab. For 1.5 meters. Copy paper. Right. Copy paper is back in stock, which is an excellent place to start, isn't it, to begin with. So your copy paper, I think that's how we're saying it. If you missed it earlier, lots of you with it in your baskets. Let's just get rid of that. So, lots of you already bought it. But Yvonne and Leslie and Janet and Anne, as a start, sitting there with it in your baskets. Now, here we go. Let's show you how to use it. So, if you've got your templates, for example, find a fresh bit of fabric, then you would choose, because you get different colours, so you get 5 different colours in there, and then you just put your copy of paper down, so you've got writing on the back. That's how you know that it's the back. And you can see this has been well used. It doesn't just wear out. It's been well used there. And then you would just get whichever design you wanted to do. So maybe you want to do that flower motif there. You can, whoop, whoa, that Hera markers are slippery little chap, isn't he? And then, with your template or whatever it is that you want to mark, this could, of course, be a pattern that you're copying for dressmaking. Doesn't just have to be for your Sashiko. And you can use those little wheels as well. You know, the little pinwheel things? You can use those. We've got those on the website as well to transpose your patterns across. So you can do that. Dee. And then you've got your little flower. And the Hera marker, of course, Lucy Brennan's favourite gadget. We'll have a look at that in a minute, because this is just one of the things that it does. Obviously, you will take your time over this rather than rush it. I'll just do one lot of petals. Petals, as they're commonly known. Come on, Tash, get it together. Here we go. There you go. So super easy. And there it is, easy to see. And because you've got the 5 different colours, easy peasy. Now, it might be that you want to, that you don't want to use your Hera marker, or you've got a pen or something that you want to just mark your patterns on with. And just do that. And you can mark your grid off with that. So then you've got that. I mean, you can really see that, can't you? So the Hera marker, 2 ways to use it. You can use it on your copy paper. There it goes. So £47.95. We've put it £4.75. Suddenly becoming very expensive, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, it's made of gold. No, it's not. I got the wrong price. £4.75. You can tell it's getting to the end of the day, can't you? For us, anyway. Let's just move on, shall we? Giving you the wrong pictures and everything now. That's not me. I'm not touching a thing. Now, your Hera marker. So you can use it with your copy paper, as we've just seen. £5.95, but also, actually, can you see here that? Can you see that grid that I did? That's through layers. That was because the fabric was folded. So there it marked out, and I just used this against a ruler. So it just marks onto the fabric, and that's nothing that you need to wash out. You can iron it out. You don't have to worry about it staining the fabric if you're using a pen or anything like that. It's all on there. Good to go. That's why it's fab, because you can use it on any fabric rather than having that worry of, is it going to work, is it not going to work? And we've all had those moments. So there we go. Grab your Hera marker. It's just £5.95. Skeins. Now you're going to need some skeins to embroider. I don't know what stage you're at. So it might be that you've got some fabric and you've already got the books, and actually you just need some more skeins. So you're traditional. If you're going super traditional, you would do blue and white. Oh, I've got the right top on for this, haven't I? There we go. And that's a full 95 pence, under £1. Can't go wrong. That's 8 metres. It's got a lovely, lovely lustre to it. That's a great price. VLGQ28. And that's the one I just used. Now, the red one, again, sometimes when Jen teaches this, when Jennifer Taylor teaches this, she'll do all of the stitches in one direction in one colour, and then as soon as you change direction, she'll do them in a different colour so that you can see how your stitch is built up. So it might be that you want to get another colour, in which case the red's a great place to go. This is most popular actually at the moment, or maybe you're just doing stuff for Christmas. So that's 95 pence as well. Actually, all these colours great to go. And then this is your green one. Here it is. And again, I'm going to guess 95 pence. Yay! There you go. XVGQ 46. Fab. Now, your ruler. The ruler that I chose, and I chose it for a couple of different reasons. Firstly, because it's got really easy grids to see. And if you're just going to do like an inch grid, then it's very clearly marked. It's not going to slip as I'm using it. But also, this one is 4.5 inches by 12.5 inches. So it's a size I'm going to use again for my quilting. So I haven't just indulged in buying something for my Sashiko. I've also got something that's going to be a really useful size to have in my stash anyway. Trying to be practical. It was a moment. Trying to be practical. Now, the starter kit. I thought that one left. Oh, okay. We can only check by bringing the graphics back in how much we've got left of it, or if it's sold out. So that is the starter kit. Now, 6 of you have it in your baskets, and there's 1 left. 5 at the moment will be disappointed. That's sad. The book is sold out by itself. Well done if you managed to get that. We still have templates by themselves, and then you could kind of build your own bits and bobs. So your templates are $9.95. There they are, $9.95 for those. So all of those, you can get going with those. And that's how they look like when they're done. Yeah, look, there they are. Really lovely. And actually you can get to see, these are the coloured skeins that we've got as well. So you can see how they come up on the fabrics that we've got. So that's your port. That's your that's from that's your dark green. So we've got dark green and port, all available in your bundles. Now that's the red skein on the green. But then you see it's also, it can show up on there as well. Then you've got your white. Simple but effective. That's what you're looking at with your Sashiko. Simple yet effective. So it's entirely up to you as to how you want to do it. I love that. It's fab, isn't it? And then you've got along there just that gentle intertwining as all of them move through. This is the only one that we haven't got a sample of, but it's a larger version of the grid with the flower in the middle and of the kind of dome. No, it's more, do you know what, this has more of a sort of tile Moroccan-y effect, and yet it's a Japanese thing, isn't it? A Japanese art form. So I don't know, but these are traditional Japanese Sashiko type designs. So I don't know, I'd have to look up the history for that. It's a good question there, Producer Paul. So we're just giving you a little bit of inspiration. These you can, and also because then it's not too intimidating, is it? It might be that you just want to Sashiko on a little dragonfly onto the corner of a jacket, or onto the corner of a hanky or something. Put it on a cushion, a little bit on a cushion. There's no reason why you can't mix and match. There's no reason why you couldn't do a flower and then have a dragonfly coming off there. So we've given you the template so that you can choose. You might just want to do a border. You might not want to do all of that. You might just want to do that border around the edge of something. So it's entirely up to you. So maybe you just want that as a border. It's up to you. It's all up to you. So get your skeins, get your fabric. Should we have a look at that fabric again, just before we move on? We're nearly finished. Gosh, where did that hour go? Where did the 4 hours go? Just no idea. Now the blue, because this is your traditional one. And actually, do you want it with the, yeah, shall I show you with the skeins on? No, you buy the skeins separately. They're a full 95 pence. But you can see there how the colours are going to work. That white is your traditional fab, isn't it? That's as traditional as you can get. I really like the red with it as well. So $10.99 gets you just the fabric, and then you add in whichever skeins you like on top of that. Now, oh, red one next. Now, you see, I think the green and the white are lovely with that. So that's your fabric. You see it there. You can really see the linen effect there, can't you? The blue has got that linen effect. It's just harder to see on the cameras. But the red, you can really see it there. And then the white, I think, looks really lovely. But then if you wanted to use those, you can. Because, look, that's what Jen did with it. So that was out of that bundle. Yeah. And then the last one is your green. So you're just getting the fabric in that bundle for $10.99. Then the green, you've got your grass green, you've got your foliage, and you've got your dark green. And again, looks lovely with the red. Maybe you're starting doing stuff for Christmas. That's your white. And we're already in Christmas, aren't we? And it's only, well, it's October, isn't it now? There you go. We started in September, you know, like to get ahead. But that's the thing, isn't it? If you're sewing and you're making anything for Christmas, whether it be, you know, cushion covers or anything like that, or the placemats, they were lovely. Or maybe you want to Sashiko a bag or wall hangers or anything like that, you need to get ahead and you need to get in sort of quickly, don't you? So £10.99 gets you 1.5 meters of fabric. All of our bundles this hour, £10.99. All of them 100% cotton. The starter kit has sold out now, so congratulations if you managed to get that. So if you want to get the needles separately, they will have to be gotten separately now. Let's have a look at the triple one first. Do you know, I think if I had to choose which to go for, I would go for the... Well, there you go. You can see I did because I, yeah. Yours won't come with half a skein hanging off. So gold-plated eyes, so that just makes it really smooth and easy to thread them. And then a very, very sharp tip so that you can just insert it nice and smoothly through the fabric. And your needle is actually made of steel. There you go. We've also got the pack of 8. Here we go. That hasn't got the plastic on. Now, you get 4 different sizes, 2 of each in this. So £4.95, RE GQ28. There we go. Now, congratulations on everyone that managed to get hold of the starter kit. There's quite a Sashiko kind of club going on now. Now, if you're after the individual components, then the Hera marker is available by itself. It's £5.95. I was just tidying up my skein there. And actually, very, very handy to have whatever, because you can mark things out with it very easily on your fabric without having to worry about testing whether or not it's going to bleed onto the fabric or whether it's going to be able to wash out or anything like that. No, no, no. It just provides that sort of crease. Now, we've still got some of the copy paper, which sold out last time. It is part of the kit, but that's sold out. So if you still want to get it, and of course, again, you can use this in your dressmaking as well. Then there we go. It's just great for tracing those patterns. So because you've got the 5 different colours, you can use it on different coloured fabrics so that it's all going to show through. There you go. What have we got? Oh, tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. So tomorrow is Learn, Try and Buy. Hey, good. Under a tenner, 8 AM. Oh, that's with me. Get up for some bargains. We do like an under a £10 bargain, don't we? Hearts of Christmas. Who have we got as our guest tomorrow? Do we know? We'll find out. Is it Jennifer Taylor? Miss it, miss out, 10 AM. Yes, the great warehouse clearance continues. It's either fabric that we can't get back in stock or that we just don't know when we're going to get back in stock. And quite frankly, we've not got much left of it, so we need its space rather than its company so that we can bring in new fabrics. And then 11 AM, the City Shopper bag. There we go. So lots to come up tomorrow. Learn, try and buy. Please check out your baskets. Don't miss out on anything. I'm trying to tidy up. Look at me. I'm trying to, yeah. They never go back on, do they? It's like trying to get things back into boxes. Remember to phone our customer services number if you've got any questions about buying the feet that we had on the 8 o'clock hour. That's 0800 112 4433. And they've got a list of compatible machines for you there. What else to say? Oh, yeah, make the most of your P&P. Make sure you check out your baskets on the templates as well, because they sold out last time. Gosh. Busy show today. Big thank you for Lucy, who was just head in hand at her sewing this afternoon. But she's always a great sport. And I will see you first thing tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
Join us on Thursday the 19th of October for a spooktacular Facebook Live. Natasha McCarty has plenty of Halloween tricks and treats up her sleeve, exclusively for Facebook Live viewers. To find out what spectral surprises she has in store, head to our Facebook page at 12:30 PM on Thursday the 19th of October. Don't miss out, it'll be spooktacular!